All right, it's time. Another week. ZTGD Radio. This is episode 832 for February 10th, 2025. We're recording this on Super Bowl Sunday. Nobody cares. All right, on the show this week we got Anthony.
Informa. There we go.
With your cracker ass. We got Terrence.
What up? I do care about the Super Bowl, not for the football game. I just am so excited to hear Kendrick Lamar perform "Not Like Us" in that grand stage. So it's really what I'm going for.
Like, we should just drop the pretense of the song and just start calling Drake a pedophile. I think
Allegedly.
Well, allegedly.
You have to say that, or you get your ass in trouble. DMs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he is lawsuit happy right now.
No, he'll try to sue you anyways.
I'm just saying.
He'll try to sue you and say you're more. He'll say like Universal Music Group pumped this podcast so people would hear that some cracker from Canada called me
you're
a
neighbors
pedophile.
with him, so
that's
true.
And
can I just say the song started from the bottom. Now we're here has always bothered me because like. No.
Same.
No.
Listen, when he first
I know your life wasn't like
came
fantastic, and you were like in a single parent household and stuff. But like, let's see, who had Halloween where a guy was stabbed in the neighborhood? Was that Drake or was that me? Oh, that's right, it was me. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fucking get your bitch ass out.
Jimmy in the wheelchair. We know.
Who had the power company people get held up?
Exactly. Was that Drake? No. That was me.
You should write a song about it.
Degrassi has
one of my favorite stories.
Man, listen.
Every time the power goes out, it's just now I picture somebody's beating up the guy.
Oh man. Oh goodness. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
We also have the Wombat. I didn't even get through intros. It's crazy.
I need to find that story and isolate it. I need to find the cat picture birthday cake.
Oh, the cat picture
another
birthday
classic.
cake is funny.
Yeah. I need to find the first time Drew told the story about his night terrors.
With the ants.
We have to leave. Why? Ants.
There's way too much content for you to go through.
And you have to listen to us talk boringly about video games for the best stuff.
Yeah.
We front load this show with shit.
You think? Video games. They're happening. There's a lot of them.
They're happening.
We can't talk about like 90% of them.
Unfortunately,
I legitimately don't think I can talk about anything. There's one thing I played, and the funny thing is, it's a game that released like 6 months ago on another platform. So,
cool.
Yeah, no embargo on that one. That was a shadow drop, so no weird embargo on that one. So I'll start off with Anthony, I guess, because y'all are going to talk about that. Hunting the monsters for a while. So.
Okay, all right. Before I tune out completely,
imagine.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm with him, dude. I think we're gonna go get a pizza or something.
Fucking just
you gotta get that in.
I've never listen. It's one of those game series that I'll throw the joke out once. I don't like it. I totally understand why other people do. It's one of those. This purely on taste. It is not. There's nothing there for me.
I get it. No, I could see.
And you know what? I'll say this, though, about the Monster Hunter community. From everything I've ever heard, one of the least toxic?
Yes. I can attest to that because I came in as a total noob and have went into like multiplayer parties not knowing shit about shit. And them people are very helpful. Like, it's like the Final Fantasy 14 community. Very welcoming.
Before we start falling into Monster Hunter, I just wanted to say, like,
yeah, sorry, go ahead. Man.
I'm just like, all right, I don't have anything. I tried. I bounced off of it. It just wasn't for me. Anyways, I don't know if I was on. I've been on after I finished RoboCop. I finished RoboCop. I got all the achievements in it. Sad that there isn't one for finishing on hard mode because it was like another excuse to go through the game on New Game Plus. That game gets glitchier and glitchier the more you play it.
I didn't have any issues.
There was some, yeah. So when I was in New Game Plus, there were some weird things happening where I could no longer change the. I would change the gun circuit board, right? But it wouldn't change the gun anymore.
Huh? Must be a bug or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's one of those games where it's like 9 out of 10. Clearly a budget though.
They absolutely had a budget, 100%.
Oh yeah,
It's funny because like I went, so it leads into my next one. I was playing Terminator Resistance, which is a much harder game than RoboCop.
It is, but that was good too.
I liked it, but I didn't like it. Like RoboCop, they nailed, but Terminator
RoboCop
was good.
It's fun.
Did you play the Terminator mode?
Fun. No, I haven't played that yet. I was going through the main campaign.
It's like a roguelite kind of thing, but it's pretty fun.
Fucking Ken just.
Yeah, I know. But you play as a Terminator.
I don't give a fuck if I play as Jesus. I don't want to play a roguelike.
No, then.
God, I was taking a drink and I almost spit it over everything. God damn it, Ken.
That's so random though. Why the fuck would you want to play the game as Jesus? Like,
Didn't they make a Jesus video game?
Heal the sick?
They made a Jesus video game.
Throwing infinite fish throwing? Come on.
Yeah, I know, and it's still the question remains: you're healing the sick, multiplying the fish. Like, okay,
Motherfucker, right. You've played games that do dumber shit. Don't act like you don't.
Bible adventures, you could throw Moses in the river.
You could only in Baby Moses.
Baby Moses, yeah.
In the Noah game, you had to like pick up fucking sheep and stuff.
Just yeet that motherfucker.
That's right.
Anyways, Terminator's weird because it feels like it had more of a budget than RoboCop.
It definitely did. It definitely did have a bigger. It felt like it had a bigger budget. Although RoboCop looks really good.
Yeah, so does Terminator. The problem is it's just only got 3 colors, but that is sort of how the future of Terminator looks.
Like so. you can't put like a bunch of reds and greens all up in Terminator. Like that's not going to be.
Well, you can red. That's it. You get red, and that's it.
Well, if you're killing humans, if you're killing cyborgs, then no.
No, they have the power cells that are red.
Well, I guess that okay, but not like. Splashes of blue
it's like,
and yellow and green clovers and purple horseshoes.
Some sparks happen and then they fall over and then explode sometimes, yeah.
Charms, because now I'm hungry. What the world?
I did start up Dying Light. That game's still amazing. Right now there was like a 10th anniversary event because they want you to remember Dying Light, not Dying Light 2.
Yeah, don't remember Dying Light 2.
There was a low gravity mode, which was kind of fucking awesome. So like jumps took you higher and everything. In single player, they have like events, I guess.
Man, if they'd only licensed Creed for that, can you take me?
No.
Then when you stab a zombie, it goes.
Creed sucks. I'm tired of people being like, "No, guys, it's funny to like Creed." No, Creed is awful. Creed sucks. Creed is such a bad fucking band.
But Anthony, what if?
Like, what if I had like
I have to settle no
discount
goddamn score?
Listen, it's not his fault that he's created his own prison.
Worst album covers too. Fucking Jesus Christ, which is what they talk about.
Anthony, I welcome you into the Creed community with arms wide open. Okay.
Keep them there. I'm gonna nail you to the cross.
So, Anthony, are you telling me you don't like any of the Creed songs?
No, I think they're corny pieces of shit.
I like that.
Now, if I were
counting the Creed songs that you like, I wouldn't get to one. Oh, one.
That was every 90s singer, though.
I will say this though: is it a baseball game? The infamous one where they had the Angels?
No, that was the
No,
Dallas
yeah,
Cowboys
that was-
halftime show.
Yeah, that was
Fucking
Dallas Cowboys.
K. I hate Creed, but that fucking is magnificent. That is just...
With the dude
I could
flying
not...
around,
Yeah,
I
with his
could
bald
not-
ass head.
I don't think anyone could
looking
be
like
campier
the
on
lead
purpose.
singer alive.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's so campy. Anyways.
All over you, all over me.
Alright, I'll be back in 20 minutes. You guys can keep singing. Fucking your shit-ass white people music.
I'm right. That's what I'm sitting here. I'm just going,
fucking...
While y'all are, it's funny. Listen, while y'all were talking, I was like, "Oh, I like that one Creed song," and I was like, "Nah, nigga, you can't even name a Creed song." I know I've heard them because I know they be in movies and shit. I could not tell you the title of one of their songs, but yeah,
I mean,
you
just said the title of one of their songs when you said that sentence.
Wait, really?
One.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
So I went. I wasn't here last weekend because I was visiting my mom, and she wanted to play Mario Party. We played some Wii Sports. That game still holds up really well.
Well, fuck yeah, it does.
Oh, your mom plays video games? That's awesome.
Not a ton, but like she has my old Wii, so so I brought up Mario Party 8 and 9. 8 is fun. 8 is the weird one where even if you're playing in 16:9, it's 4:3.
That's Nintendo.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a really weird game where it's like you start up, all the menus are in 16:9, but when you go to play the game, it's like, yeah, but 4:3 though. And so you got these weird borders on the fucking side.
Nintendo was like, what's this crazy 16:9 screen?
Oh, god damn. And then we played that one, and my mom's like, because I brought up Mario Party 8 and 9, she's like, let's play 9 because the mini games will be different, so we won't possibly run into the same mini games. Did anybody play Mario Party 9?
Dude, that was at the end of the Wii, right?
I have played a couple Mario Parties. I could not tell you which one they were.
Same.
Like,
Okay,
because
so this one is
10,
the biggest
10
pile
was
of
the
shit.
Wii U one, right?
Yes, the one I don't have.
Yeah, and I think 9 was at the end of the Wii's life cycle, and at that point I was just like, who, no.
Yeah, I don't have 10. So, so 9 is so bad. So Mario Party 9, they'd already started doing the gimmick stages, like, get to the end of, I think it was like in 7 on the GameCube. One of them was like, just get to the end of the board. It's a linear board, get to the end, and then you restart. So it's basically who can do as many laps as possible.
Oh, good.
To get a star. In Mario Party 9, they decided, yeah, you have this really great formula, throw it out. Everybody moves together. Everybody takes turns piloting a little ship around the board. After everybody goes, there's no minigame. You just keep playing the board.
You playing a board game?
If you fucking land on a mini-game space.
What?
And you're not
What are we
collecting
doing?
Stars. You're only collecting mini stars, but then there's stars that take away from your total mini star count called stars. That's with a Z. It's the biggest pile
That's a
of
Z
shit.
for you Americans.
My mom's like, this isn't very good, and I'm like, do you want to just stop playing and put in Wii Sports?
That's the correct answer.
And that's what we did. Yeah, that's a bad game. Oh my god, I'm glad they didn't stick with that formula, because like the new Mario Party's fantastic. That is the biggest
Jamboree.
Yeah.
They stopped numbered them, which made me sad.
It's probably for the best.
No, man, I wanted them to get to like Mario Party 37 at some point, so I could be like,
Like,
hell
no,
yeah.
because now it's not Mario Party, it's Super Mario Party.
I don't give a
It's like
fuck.
the now that's what I call music.
Fucking right,
They're up to
dude.
like 187 or whatever they're
Hell
on.
yeah, I want
Actually,
stupid
when-
long ass numbers. Like, just keep
They
going.
still come out. with that?
Eventually, now that's what I call music. Will just be like dial-up sounds, be robot music.
Fuck
Right.
yeah.
I didn't even know they still came out with those. I
Oh,
remember those
fuck,
commercials.
I hear
Go to-
music sometimes and it sounds like dial-up tone sounds. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I do.
it was always amazing how much those sold.
Oh yeah, they sell like
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
It was
But I mean-
back in the early 2000s, it was the equivalent basically for people of making a mixtape off the radio. Like it was
Yeah.
all the most popular songs put
And I
on a
think they
CD
come-
for you.
I think they come out twice a year.
You are old.
Holy crap!
You are old
Yeah,
if
they're
you
on-
remember now.
The
That's
only
what I
reason
call
why I
music
say that-
1.
Yeah, they are on now. That's what I call Music 89.
That's
Released
crazy.
released
Those are just
January of 2024.
Fuck right.
But that's
yeah.
just the numbered ones because they
They
do
got a bunch more.
subsection
Yeah.
ones where it's like now that's what I call dance music or
Yeah.
whatever.
90s R&B.
Go to your public library
Wow.
and see how many they have of those because that's a great place to just remember where you were in time. Just looking.
I
at the
don't
backs of
want to
those
remember
CDs.
where I was in time.
And then outside of a game I can't talk about, I have played a lot of Control. Control has got some weird glitches. If I play in DirectX 12, it's been stable now. The first time I was playing it, it was not stable. It would sometimes just crash back to the desktop. I don't know what setting it was, but I had to I reinstalled the game and now it's fine. So okay. Oh, am I boring you, Terrence? Playing Marvel Snap?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Check.
No, what the heck? Do I
Listen,
put you
bitch,
on blast?
You fucking
When
sneaked
I'm
up
in the
on
middle
me
of
and was like,
talking and you opening up Balatro, like, no, I just be like, oh, my man's playing Balatro. And I say
and
that
then
shit
you
in
send
my
me a
head.
message. Yeah, and you
Right.
send me a message.
Privately. See how, now, do y'all see chat? Do you see how I just
Who
get
the,
put
who the
on
fuck is
blast around?
chat? Who the fuck is chat? We ain't live. What do you think this is?
L's in chat.
L's and shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody
Why don't you go
listening to this.
sacrifice Uncle Ben?
Can we get some
I'll
L's
summon
in
your
chat,
Spider-Man
please?
card.
You probably think they got a Pepe the Frog or some shit out there. Whatever.
The
Hey guys,
DirectX
mash that
11
like button.
Slice that like button for
Oh,
me.
thanks for the 6 months. 2B4612. The fuck are we doing?
Oh, man.
I'm just gonna
Sorry,
block
go
my
ahead.
user that just posted my address in chat. Hold on, there's a knock at the door. It says it's the police.
Policemen ain't
they're
give me
just,
no break.
they're just normal. They're just normal Reebok socks. I'm not sure why you need to see them.
Reebok still make socks? Shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well,
man.
that ruined everything. What else?
Okay, I know. All right, go ahead. Right, fucking Reebok.
So
See,
I'm playing Control. The DirectX 11 version has some weird graphical glitches at times, where it doesn't load the textures properly. I don't have that issue on DirectX 12, so that's weird. It's amazing having that game actually run though, and not kind of chug like the PS4 version.
oh yeah, I had it on Xbox. It was, ooh.
It was
Yeah,
chugging.
I got it on the
Ultimate Edition now.
old hardware. It was bad. You had to have the upgrade. Like a PS4 Pro ran that game better. It was I think it was released around the time or shortly before, where if you had the base console, it was pretty rough. I remember the map screen wouldn't load. You have to exit out, exit back in, and then it would load in. That game's really good. I had an issue where it hard crashed and then fucked up the save. And here's where the rant comes in. Fucking hate Epic Game Store. Now, I will say this about their support. Once I found it and actually got to send them a message, they gave me really detailed instructions within the hour to get my save back. Although I figured a way around it, so whatever. That point, but they were really quick. If I am using an application and first of all, finding the support section was not the easiest thing ever. It's not difficult, but it was just not out there in the open. If I click it and then it opens my fucking web browser, why do I need your launcher? What the fuck is the point? Just let me download the fucking game at that point off of your goddamn website. So, and then it's like you have to just, instead of just being like, here's my problem. They're like, maybe we can solve it with FAQs first. No, it's about a specific game, and I need to know if you can just pull back an old cloud save or not. Lo and behold, it's actually on my hard drive, which is nice. But it's just, what a pain in the ass. And when people go, oh, what is it? It's just a different launcher, blah, blah, blah. It's like, this is a billion-dollar company. Like, this app should work better. This app should be more user-friendly. There's no reason. It's not like they don't have the money. Like, how is GOG Galaxy so good? And fucking can load in, like, all my other platforms, like, the games I own on those, and be like, yeah, you already own it here. So it, like, saves me money if I care to do that. And then fucking Epic, who has a shit ton of money, it's just not as good. And it feels like, I said this in chat when I was very angry, sorry, our Discord chat.
L's in the chat!
Not the chat that's listening right now.
Whatever. Yeah, you don't know. I might be live. All right, go ahead.
Fucking hope you're not.
$50 for a digital picture of ice cream that you can feed me.
Oh, God.
The fuck?
I
You haven't seen that?
No, I haven't. No, it's like, what are you talking about?
Like, curse knowledge. Just keep your fucking evil Egyptian curses to yourself.
Thought all NFTs were like monkeys.
These aren't NFTs. These are barely emojis. Yeah, you have to look it up, or don't.
Yeah, I think I'm better in life without it.
It feels like, EA. Oh, fuck, I don't even know what EA's launcher is called. EA launcher.
It's Origin.
Origin.
They killed Origin. It's all
they
EA
killed
launcher
Origin
now.
Yeah, it's just EA launcher. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I forgot.
I don't think it's Uplay anymore. Whatever Ubisoft.
No, they killed that.
It's Ubisoft Connect.
Yeah.
It's Ubisoft Connect.
Yeah, and then this. It's like, it's the Mad Catz controller of fucking Steam. Oh no, guys! It works just as good. Oh, okay, that's why you're using it? Like, fuck off.
God, oh, Mad Cat.
What a piece of junk. And it's like, from corporations that have the money to spend on it. Although, Ubisoft feels more like, we want to have one too. It's always felt that way with Ubisoft.
Yeah.
At least EA, it's like, I know that they have the money. Ubisoft, we know they do not, apparently. But yeah, it's just a fucking miserable experience. Like, why couldn't I just fucking click on the game and be like, load a previous save file? Like, I can right click on the game in my Steam, and then it gives me a bunch of options, and then I can go and browse local files from right clicking it. It's like, no, when they send me the instructions, it's like, here's where you have to go in your computer. Well, like, I know how to do that. Right? Like, you pointed me in the right direction. I didn't know where to look, but like, you pointing me in the right direction, I can go do that. Do you think everybody else can just fucking do that? Like, the main reason why people have Epic's game launcher, Epic Game Store, sorry, is because of Fortnite, and that's a lot of kids. And it's like, not everybody that's playing Fortnite's gonna know how to do this. Although Fortnite's not really that type of game, but it's just like, it's just a weird thing that it's like, it has to be so manual in comparison to Steam. And I'm not saying Steam's the end-all be-all. Like, they could pay devs more. There's a lot of things they could do better, but it's just, every time this conversation comes up, it's like, yeah, but then, like, why aren't we... Everybody wants more from Steam, but it's like, these are other billion-dollar corporations. Why the fuck aren't they doing better, too? Just drives me fucking nuts. Anyways, Control's a great game.
I'm glad we got around to that, like...
I was wondering if he was going to circle back. Like, was it a happy ending? Did they fix your save file?
Like, this is why I don't PC game, because fuck, Jesus.
So, well, I mean, it wouldn't be any better on console.
I mean, I played through Control. I didn't have to worry about DirectX 11.
Well, no, but like
that's a
Ryan
different
lost his save file on the net. Was it baseball or basketball? One of those games, didn't you? Or did
It
they
was
get it back?
baseball. Yeah, it was baseball, and I ended up having to revert to a previous file.
Yeah.
So what I did was sort of that. Like, when you go into so when it would go to the main screen, and when you hit continue, the game would crash. That's how bad the save was.
Damn.
So what I did, because I didn't have a response yet, I was like, oh, there's a chapter select. All right, let's see. Like, at that point, I'm like, well, I got no save file right now, so I'm just gonna try chapter select. It brought me back maybe 2 hours, not even, but because I was like, oh yeah, I'll just fucking fly through that section. I went back to like the beginning of a chapter and just went through it as quick as possible. And I was back to where I was within like an hour. So, you know, that was my solution. So it did load up from the chapter selection. It was purely that save was just completely borked. So,
Man, that I to Ken's point, I feel like that stuff is more common on PC though than it is on.
well,
on
so
console.
here's my argument against that though. Like, absolutely not. Like, I just feel like we've gotten better overall with how saves are managed. But
Mhm.
when you have a catastrophic failure like that, like how often are we talking about saves being lost, right? Not
Yeah,
really.
you're right.
I feel
Yeah.
like it would come up on this on this podcast. Ryan talked about baseball, right? The show. It's
Yeah.
like, but when it happens on PC, in this particular case, again, I want to just shout out that Epic Game Support was quick and fast and was right to the point, which, you know, all my criticisms aside, which again are mostly for other people.
Wait, hold on, wait. Just pause right. Hold that thought, because I just want to share this little insight to our Discord chat. I just want to let you know. So this is the middle of the night, because like I had just laid down,
Yeah,
and
it was
Anthony
like
was
3
pissed
a.m.
off. He was fucking pissed off about this, and my nigga went ham in a paragraph. It don't make no sense. This website ain't got this kind of support, and I got to do this. All right, now I done went to sleep, and I wake up in the morning. This nigga's next message is, "Oh wow, that was real fast. They got it together." I'm like, what? So after you spend 20 minutes running them down the road, they actually got you together real
Well,
quick.
but here's the thing. That's 20 minutes of me not just being able to just click on a support button at the bottom of like a fucking page.
I got you. It was
Right?
just funny.
So then, so finally I find the fucking link on the application and it just pulls up the website. Well, Jesus Christ, I could have done that myself.
Right.
But like, I'm like, well, I'm trying to find one connected directly to this game because, again, like if I go to Steam and I go to a page and then like of a game and I click like support,
Yeah,
it's
you
going
get
to
options for that. Yeah, their support is dope.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
it's good.
so, and I have not had a problem with Steam support. It is they honestly tell you that there's going to be a delay. Now, obviously, with Epic, they probably have people around the clock because, you know, Fortnite is one of the biggest games in the world.
Yeah.
Still. So I'm not surprised. And they was right to the point. But this is after me having to fucking figure out where to fucking find the button to get to support, and then it just pulls up a web page. Well, alright, and then it's a generic web page for support. And so now I'm like, alright, and then it's like, when I go to click game, I'm like, okay, well, does it have all my games? No, it has like the most popular games, of course, and then it's like other. Yeah, I guess other would be the answer. Yeah, so I was frustrated. I was frustrated at the ease of use, which is my feeling about all those launchers that aren't Steam or GOG Galaxy. Because, like, again, I get it. Like, that CD Projekt Red, it's not like they don't have money. But, like, let's be honest, the user base of GOG is probably more technically inclined, and yet they made it very user-friendly. So, you know, trying to run old PC games is not the easiest, even though GOG does a really good job of making them work. It's not always simple. You sometimes have to fiddle. So yeah, it's just frustrating to be like, okay, well, all the things I've ever learned on the internet support should be somewhere nearby. Okay, it's not here. Let me go to my profile. Maybe there's a support button there. Okay, not there. Where is the button to be like, I would like assistance, please? On your application. And then when I find it and I hit the button, instead of just having it work from there, where you have all my information, right? You then ask me for my email when I get to your fucking website. I could have done this myself.
Right.
Like,
no,
now,
you're right.
I would assume, based on the fact that you make me download this application, that in the application there would be the help button, that I wouldn't have to load up a different program, right, which is your internet browser, and then be like, oh, okay, now let's search for help here. And I get it, Steam has its own browser built in, but still, it's just one of those. That's why I was frustrated. But again, to have help that quickly is impressive, and I can't take that away from them. That was precise to the point. Like, here's exactly how to fix it. Cool. I'm glad to know that there's somebody there, which is better than Steam's. Their turnaround time was like within the hour.
Actually, yeah, I mean, in the middle of the night, no less. Like,
in the middle of the night.
Steam support get like 24 hours. I mean, it's all, like, I've never had an issue, and that's fine. But
at least with Steam support, I'm like, yeah, but that's most places. So
right. No,
Epic
right.
is
Yeah.
better. Epic is better than most places when you need help. I can't take that away. I just wish that, like, if that's the way to do it, and I'm assuming that goes for other games, that should be something that's a little bit, like, have an advanced section. Like, yeah, I know computers. Here's the advanced way to, like, before you ask us, here's how you can solve some of these problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to trust some guy on Reddit. Sorry. Like, that's like my last case scenario.
I must be super trusting, because I'll go on there all the time and be like,
It's one of those things where it's like, I look up stuff for Control, but, like, I'm specifically on the Epic Game Store launcher. It might not be the same if I'm playing Control on Steam, right?
I got you. That's true.
So, but yeah. Also, that list is shit. Ken, I'm gonna call it out. Top 10 greatest guitarists of all time by The Mirror magazine. 10 is Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl's not even the lead guitarist in his own fucking band.
Yep. 9, Keith Richards. 8, David Gilmour. I can't argue with that one.
No, David Gilmour is fantastic.
Yep.
7, Carlos Santana.
I know him.
Nah.
I know him. Okay.
I would put him below David Gilmour by a couple pegs, but I won't say he's not top 10. I've just never been a Santana fan. Jimmy Page.
Nope, I don't know him.
Led Zeppelin.
You don't know Jimmy Page? Wow.
Dude, we can't have this conversation every week. He does not know these people.
Right. Like,
he's not first of all, Cracker People music. Second.
But you know what though? It's so
he's
hard.
also not a music guy.
Ryan. Right, that's true. Because Ryan knows, like, Ryan be doing some black fucking rappers that I don't. I'm like, damn, hold on, wait, what? Actually, yeah, that's
Ryan is the music guru. Let's yeah, he is.
I do enjoy my music.
Slash is very good. Slash is very good.
Yeah, Slash is good. I like
top
Slash.
10.
Yeah, I still think he's top 10. He's very good.
This Wunderslash. There's a whole legend.
He's probably 10, but he's very good though.
Mark Knopfler, yes, he's very good. I don't love
Mark
his
Knopfler's
music.
very good. Yeah.
I don't
Dire Straits. Mark
Knopfler is unique in that he plays guitar almost completely differently than most of the rest of the people on that list.
Sure. Yeah.
3 is Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton's so goddamn boring.
Eric Clapton's a piece of shit.
Well, there is that.
So.
Yes.
Y'all went in on Eric Clapton a couple of times.
Personally, so number 2 is Jimi Hendrix. I would say Jimi Hendrix would probably be 1 if we're going to talk about who changed the sound of music.
Yeah, but we're not talking about who changed the sound. The person missing from this list, I think, should be way up there.
Hold on. And Brian May, I like Brian May a lot, but Brian May's sound comes from his guitar, more like how his guitar is built.
Queen.
Oh, okay, thank you.
He's on this list.
There's no Eddie Van. How do you not have Eddie Van Halen? Eddie Van Halen is like Jesus Christ.
But I mean, like, but like,
I
also,
know him,
like,
and that is surprising that
he
he's
doesn't
on this
have Steve Morse on there.
Jeff
doesn't have
Beck.
Eric Johnson.
I've heard that
Jeff
name.
Beck.
Steve Morse.
And
him.
give me a second here. Fucking really, Steve Howe from Yes and Asia, who's goddamn amazing. I got to see him live. I don't know. This feels like we picked the most popular guitarists list.
What is this list from?
Mirror
A
magazine.
Mirror.
I don't even know what Mirror magazine is.
That's
so.
okay. They won't be around very
publication,
long after this list.
They're gonna be the Broken Mirror magazine.
This is the I have listened to what other people have said is really good guitarists list,
Like,
but not actually
I just,
had any original thoughts on my own.
I love like the Foo Fighters, and I love Dave Grohl's music career. You put him on a top 10 drummers, I'll back you all day long.
Oh, absolutely.
You put him on a top 10 guitarist, I'm like, nah. He wouldn't put himself on that list. Like, come on.
That's true. I would also say, like, if you put him on, like, person that, like top rock songwriters.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
There too.
Yeah.
He can write a pop song and then write a fucking heavier track and still make it somehow a fucking hit.
Dude, I don't know if you've listened to, like, Medicine at Midnight, but, like, there's, like, a dance song on there. And I'm like, what the fuck?
He's fucking a weirdo. I mean, all of his drumming for Nirvana was, like, disco.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, anyways, that list sucks.
Anyway, video games.
Yeah, I'm done. That's the reason why I went into the guitarist list. I had to call out the fact that Eric Clapton's on that fucking list at 3. Prince was a better guitarist than Eric Clapton.
Yeah, why?
Oh man, do you ever see
yes,
the Prince performance of While My Guitar Gently Weeps? Yeah,
where he shows everybody up. Yeah,
ridiculous.
All right, Terrence, what did you play?
A lot of something I can't talk about.
We'll skip that one.
I played. I played some more Wayfinder. That game is still pretty good. I played. Oh, I think I put this review. I played Ambulance Life, Paramedic Simulator. Let me tell y'all something, man. Oh God. Okay, listen. I like the simulation games because it's the Power Wash Simulator is a lot of fun. The police one that I did was even some fun. It just had that weird thing where like the sun never went down on this city. It was truly the city that never sleeps. Like even though my shift, it said it was 10 p.m. The sun was high in the sky. So I guess I was in Alaska. I don't know. Well, in Ambulance Life, oh my God, Jesus. So you play as a paramedic. Okay. First of all, these graphics, I don't know what's happening, but like, so you don't build your own character. You choose a character from a, plethora of, one would even say a rainbow of faces to choose from. And I picked the darker of the rainbow colors. I picked the black guy because I am black. If you guys didn't know, I don't know. I do say nigga a lot if you didn't know. So, but anyway, okay. What? Are you offended? Are you that guy? You're like, sir, please just don't do that. Okay,
I need to speak with HR.
Okay, so you pick your person, and so dude has an afro, and his afro is like, I guess like 80% translucent. Like you can,
motherfucker's afro's on opacity of 20%.
Yes. Was painted on, but then as it reached the edges, it ran out of paint. So it's like you can just see wisps of brown, but you can see oh my God, it's so bad. Oh my God. All right, so I got through that. All right, you go through a little initial training, and they're like, all right, get in the ambulance. We're going to send you out on a call. We get the call. There's a car accident. I'm like, all right, we got to save a life. So I get. Oh, sorry, that was funny to me. I get in the thing, in the ambulance, and I'm about to pull out into traffic. So the whole thing, and I think this is what really makes or breaks this game, is the AI world, right? So the traffic system, because it was the same way in the police game. you would be, driving around and you would see an accident happen, and then that would be your call, or you would see somebody like do something like, so the world, all these random, events like happen, around you. So the traffic simulation kind of needs to be on point when you're, an ambulance driver. It ain't. So not only is it not, so I'm trying to pull out at the traffic with my sirens blazing. No one is, of course, letting me in. On the far side of the lane, so there's the line of cars I'm trying to get into, and then 2 lanes over, those guys are opening a window. Like they're like I'm coming behind them, like they're like parting the Red Sea, and I'm like, that doesn't fucking help me over here. So I end up having the GTA style this, where I'm just hitting cars to get through. And luckily, the only thing, like your ambulance takes some damage, and like my little training partner is like, she's in the side panicking, like, hey, don't drive like that. You're gonna break the ambulance. Like she's saying this crazy line over and over again. Oh Lord Jesus! As we're driving to get to the emergency, because I'm on traffic now, and now the traffic is starting to part. I shit you not. Cars just start spawning from the sky. As I'm driving, it's just fucking raining cars.
Hallelujah.
What? What are we doing? So, and it's so crazy because these cars will spawn and they'll drop down and they'll like kind of bounce before they settle. And so some of them like flipped over, there was cars, there was a pile of cars at one point, and then like, Jesus Christ. Like the AI system is just so jacked up. When I actually got to the patient, okay, so actually treating the patient, really triaging, because you're an ambulance worker, so you're a paramedic. So you get out there and you have to observe them, which is no more than you holding like left trigger and like moving the little reticle to points on their body. So you're looking them up and down and getting kind of surface information, and all this information goes into your little PD, your iPad little device. And so you get there and you once you look them over and make sure that they can be moved, you have to get them into the ambulance, which is of course means you have to get the stretcher out. Oh Jesus, that in itself is an exercise. So your partner, hops in and you pull the gurney out because they're making a simulation. So you have to get it, over to them. So, you're working with somebody else. And so it's not like you pushing, a shopping cart. So you have to, move your side over to the left while they're moving to the right to get it to, oh my God, it's such a fucking struggle. Once you get the person loaded on, then you got to put that sumbitch back in the truck. It does not let you put it in the truck until you are perfectly aligned. And it will tell you are not aligned. So you got to back up, go forward, back up this way, turn this way a little bit, get perfectly aligned to load them up in, only for you to climb in there, and then you do the rest of the triage.
Oh, by the way, they did.
This is... Bro, listen. So you get it. This was my first call. Like this is all what happened. So I'm in there, and she had a panic attack. She's got her heart is racing. I get the blood pressure cuff on. I check out all her vitals and stuff. And the assistant lady's like, "Oh my God, you have to give her this shot of whatever into her heart. I can't think of what it's called. Epinephrine. It was something that I had to give her, and it was like grayed out, and I couldn't. I'm like, well, this woman, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And her vitals is steadily going down, and then all of a sudden the lady's like, oh, she lost consciousness, and I'm like, oh shit! So I then jumped out the truck, and I'm like, well, fuck.
You just go running down the street.
Listen, I just jumped into the truck in the driver's seat, turned on the lights, and I drove to the hospital. Rated cars be damned. So I get to the hospital. Oh my God, Jesus. Why this hospital is set up like this? So the only ambulance entrance, you have to make a left, and there's like this long ass, as long as the building, like one little lane that you could only get into. So you have to go up and make this U-turn to actually get into the fucking hospital. Sirens are on. There's fucking people just standing in front of where I need to turn, looking and pointing like, oh, geez, I don't know what's happening. Oh, my God. I'm like, I'm trying to save a life. So I, hit them and it was game over. So you can't kill people. So you're not supposed to run over people in this game. It's really what the moral of the story is, but they wouldn't move. So, I mean, you can't cause more emergencies than you actually can, help. This game is rough. That's really what I'm trying to tell you right now. And it's crazy because I saw reviews on the Xbox store where niggas was praising it and talking about how good it was. And I'm like, you must have played something completely different from me because it's rough. Glazers. But go ahead.
I just called them ball glazers.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I mean, the raining cars thing is taking me out.
Bro, I'm telling you, and my thing messed up because I was trying to take a video of it. They literally was raining as I'm driving along. It's just spawning more, and I'm like, "Oh, what are we doing?" Like, it's rough. Anyway, so yeah, there'll be a review up for that. I think I sent that to you.
Yeah, I got it.
It's not already up. Okay. Oh man. I managed to play Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance. Is it called Deliverance? I don't know. Whatever Kingdom Come 2
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I think.
Okay. And that, that studio head is, and we talked about it, I think, last week, he definitely is a fucking dick, going after reviewers just because they didn't like his shit or whatever. But that game's not bad. It's, I didn't realize it was made with the Cry engine. You don't see many games using Cry engine anymore. That's kind of cool.
Made with Cry engine. Still.
Yeah, you start this made with Cry engine. That little, yeah. But no, it's actually pretty good. It's not as not over the top, but I guess not as realistic as it was in the first one. Combat is way easier. Instead of having like 6 points on the little like aiming thing, now it's like 4. Doing actual combo attacks and parries and stuff is a lot simpler. I still think it's easier in like Chivalry, but it definitely works here. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. I'm probably gonna go back and mess with it some more at some point once I finish up other games I'm playing. But it's not. I don't know. It's not horrible. Definitely one. I think Ryan, if you have when you have time, you probably will enjoy it because it.
Yeah, I gotta beat the first one first.
Gotcha. See, I was just gonna skip that one because honestly, man, I tried to go because that was the other one I played. I tried to go back to that one because I was like, man, I should probably finish it. No, I couldn't even get the first little tool from the guy for your father. You have to like either steal it or beat him up or whatever. I was like, nah, he whooped my ass. I was like, nah, I'm cool, homie. You can keep it. So, but the second one is pretty good.
I feel like we're going to be having this conversation again in 7 years. Like, well, I tried to go back to the second one, but I couldn't get into it.
Right. Yeah. But the third one is great.
Yeah. No, I'll still be the guy going, no, this shit's terrible. I don't like this shit.
And you know what? And so as different stuff was like popping up, in the tutorial, I don't know how far you got, but as different stuff was popping up, I was like, yeah, this is 100% not his shit. He's not gonna like that.
Nope.
They gonna do that. Nah, he gonna be pissed about that too. Like, yeah, it was funny. Let's see. So outside of that, what did I play? I played some more Everspace 2. I picked up Star Wars Empire. Y'all don't play these types of games, but Empire at War was on sale on Steam. The gold pack. I picked that up because that game is awesome. RTS that has like space and ground stuff, and there's still, oh my god, like I went on there when I got it, and like, because Steam will tell you how many people are currently playing. It was like 2,000, like 2,100 people playing it. I was like, damn, okay, they still got a little audience, and there's hella mods for it and stuff now too, which is dope.
That's what happens when you're the only RTS in the Star Wars universe.
Facts.
What was that one that came out like forever ago? Not Empire at War, the one before that.
Rebellion?
Was it called Rebellion? I'm talking big box PC retail. Like, that's how old this one was.
I think because I had it. That was like the only one that was that type of game.
Battlegrounds.
Oh, that was
yeah,
that
maybe that's the one I'm
2001. Thinking of. I'm looking. I looked it up. So there was Star Wars Rebellion in '98, Force Commander in 2000, and then Galactic Battlegrounds in 2001.
I think it's Galactic Battlegrounds is the one I was thinking of.
That one wasn't bad.
I think that was the one I knew. And then Empire at War.
If I remember, Galactic Battlegrounds was the one that was more like Age of Empires.
Yeah,
they had the different factions.
The Star Destroyers were
like,
actually like hovering over the ground.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that one. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Empire at War is better though. Like I remember playing that back in the day. Went hard in that game. But yeah, I think that's it. Game wise, I'm sure somebody will say something that will whatever.
Well, I'm sure y'all are gonna talk about the monster.
Final Fantasy. Wait, what?
The monster game.
Hunter.
Oh, that's right. Well, I figured I was just gonna say that for Ryan because I figured I don't know how much he had to talk about. That might be his one. So I'll just chime in on his conversation because I did play some Monster Hunter Wilds.
I played it too, and I ruined your experience.
Yeah, I am going to share that. I was going to actually share that, and then I'm going to segue over to you, Ryan. I'll just hand the mic over to you after I get finished. So here I am. I'm a new member of the chat. Sit close, lean close, chat. So I'm a new member of the Monster Hunter, fan club. Super stoked for this game, and I played a couple of rounds earlier in the day. The game looked beautiful. It moved good. I felt fine with how it was. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this. This is good. Oh shit, look, I'm doing this with my hunting horn. I got my bow as my
I believe
secondary.
in the chat. When I asked if you guys were playing in quality mode, your response was, "I sure the hell am not."
Yeah. Listen. If you don't know nothing about me, player, I always keep it a band. Like I'll take my lumps. I sure did. So we playing the game, and he played it. It was like, man, this game looked like ass. What y'all doing? And he sent the screenshot, and I was like, what the fuck? That ain't what mine looked like. He was like, you playing in Fidelity? I was like, I sure as hell ain't, because I'm like, shit felt like it was 60. It felt good to me, So I'm like, well, let me go check. It was here that he knew he fucked up. So I went to my settings, and sure as shit, I was in Fidelity. I was like, oh, damn, that's wild. I was like, that's crazy because it felt good. Like, I don't know. It felt fine. Like, I was cool with it. I was like, well, let me switch the frame rate and load into it. And I loaded the frame rate, and he was right. It looked like shit. The graphics is popping in, and it moved.
Everything looks like frizzle, man. Like, everything is all frizzly.
Everything is... Yeah, and faded, like almost the hair is kind of actually the hair here is better than in whatchamacallit. It's probably set to like 60%.
Yeah.
But like everything has like a frizzly. It's bad. And I'm like, oh God, Jesus. So I gave him his flowers. Like, yeah, man, you're right. That's crazy. So I tried to switch mine back, and I loaded back in when I put it back on Fidelity. Why my shit just was stuck in frame rate? Everything frizzly, looking all bad. I'm like, oh no. What is this? So I went back. I changed the setting again. Listen, I done uninstalled, reinstalled. I done cleared cache. I done restarted consoles. I done unplugged consoles. I done made a summoning circle. I contacted Goro. I done did all kind of stuff to try to fix this issue. My shit is now broken. It is stuck in this fugly form of frame rate mode. All because Rain Cloud Ken wanted to come tell us of his shitty experience. And I was like, oh, as a good friend, well, let me check and see, because I want to validate his. And now I'm stuck over here on the shitty side of the fence. And that's where we are. Right?
I mean, if you could tell the difference between 30 and 60, we might not have a problem.
Well, you know what? I thought I could tell the difference. Maybe I
can't.
The
frames on my ass when you suck my dick from behind.
What? That got dark. I don't even have a response for that. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh shit. No, but no. I don't think I can. Maybe I can't. I guess I'm just gonna be like Ryan and gauge it off of if I feel good or not. Cause
vibes, man. It's all vibes.
And you know what it is too? I think Monster Hunter is probably the type of game that is fine at 30. It doesn't have to, because the action is
somebody listening to this just had a coronary.
I'm sure they did, but I mean, because like Ninja Gaiden Black, no, it's too fast. But this, like, I don't know. I was fine. I had a good vibe. I was cool with the game. Super excited. I'm still excited, but
Man, you want
I
to
installed beta.
struggle? You go back and play some of them 360 racing games that run at 30 frames a second. You're like, what the fuck is this?
See, you know what? That's why I feel like I can tell the difference, because I went back and I tried to play Mafia 3 and I was like, oh my God, no, this is it like trying to like toggle and aim and stuff like that. Like you can feel it. When I was playing Monster Hunter before I changed it, it didn't feel like that. That's why I was like, oh, okay. Like I always compare it to that type of thing, like the sluggishness of that. And I was like, it didn't feel like that when I was moving and fighting. It felt good. So, but now I'm stuck over here. So I got to wait for release. God dang it. Anyways, Ryan,
you're in the frames per second shame pile now.
That's fine. That's fine. I got a rich ass neighbor like Ryan.
Listen, yeah, you can join the club, Terrence. It's fun. You get to play a whole bunch of games that these guys bitch about.
Hell yeah, he
I
probably got
still
jackets
see.
and
No, the
everything.
difference is I still play them. I still play them.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean these guys?
I'm talking about white people. No, I mean the guys like Ken, who
Okay, I'm just making sure I wasn't
obsessive
included in
about
that.
frames.
Man, I want my shit to feel good.
No, Anthony, I didn't.
We all
I
want our
didn't
shit to
include
feel
you.
good.
I didn't include you on that because I know you play your games on an Etch-a-Sketch. So,
Thank you.
Fucking 480p over here.
You know how annoying it is to get up and have to shake your screen to reload the frame that it's on?
A little clogged. Hold on, let me get this together. Oh,
Anthony's frantically rearranging pegs on a light bright every time he wants to play a game.
Motherfucker still got a Zenith TV. We doing over here?
Oh man,
Magnavox.
man, I remember those.
His TV's got wood paneling.
Yeah,
Oh god,
got one of those little UHF switches on it. Like, what are we doing?
you're gonna need a team of guys to move that. Those things weigh like 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, for a 12-inch.
It's got dials on the side that click when you move them.
Yeah, the UHF switch. Yeah,
Yeah.
UHF 64, baby.
Funnily enough, the Trinitron I have is all buttons.
Well, yeah, Trinitron was made after
know-
buttons were created.
And no wood paneling either.
They're those like ivory colored buttons that click in when you push them.
Hell yeah!
Hold on.
Oh my god, I remember the. Jeez.
This makes for good radio.
We heard.
Yes,
Look,
yes, it is those types of buttons.
Yeah, see?
That's funny.
And you can, and they're not really great. They kind of are clearly float. The plastic's floating over the button, so you can kind of wiggle it back and forth.
I like how I get shit for like, well, you got to have them proper frames, and like nobody gets shit for like, well, I have to play my retro games on CRT.
No, I'll give them niggas shit for that. Like, wait, who's doing that?
I gave up playing games on a CRT like 25 years ago.
Yeah, I think I sold my last CRT like 25 years ago.
I saw one last month actually in Goodwill. They had three of them actually. I was like, ain't nobody buying this.
There is. There's some guy coming out of his basement. He's like, oh Jesus, I gotta get this.
Jeez, Lord.
All right. Well, now that we've insulted everyone's television and frame preferences.
Yes, I think everyone has been hit today. Yeah,
yeah,
good.
We're good.
All right, so I keep saying this every week, and every week I expect it to be the last week that I have to say it, but I am nearing the end of Dragon Age. I think I'm 84 hours in.
Wow.
I've got
83 of those sucked, right?
No. The game has a lot of bullshit in it that we've complained about on the podcast, but by and large, it is a good game. And the back half of the story is good, even if the pacing could be better. I've got all but one companion up to their highest, because there's a level that basically you unlock once you complete their companion quests. And I've got all but one to that level, and the other one I think is just waiting for me to complete another story mission so that it unlocks their final sort of level. And I've got almost all the factions up to 3 stars too. I am a little bit pissed off because one of the side quests that will help me get that faction up to max level is completely borked. There's a locked door that is supposed to open up at a certain point in the quest, and it just won't trigger. But sounds like maybe if I go and do a story mission and then come back to that side quest, then the trigger will reset. So we'll see. But I'm going to quickly run out of story missions if it doesn't. So yeah, hopefully it works. The other game I played, is Monster Hunter, the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. I tried to play it on Steam Deck. It will not run on Steam Deck. I dropped all of the settings down to the lowest they can possibly get, and I was still getting like 17 FPS. And contrary to Ken's opinion, yes, I can tell when something is in the teens from a frame rate standpoint.
How? Real quick, Ryan, how long did it take you to do the shader thing? Because like I started to try it.
A long time.
Okay,
and
yeah.
My Steam Deck got so hot, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to turn this thing off. Because it was, everything was like maxed out while it was trying to do this shader compiling.
Dude, shader compilation, like recently when I booted up Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the PC, like my PC fan never turns on. Like I can never hear it. When those shaders started compilating, my PC was like
Yep. Steam Deck was overheating. And it took forever, which sucked because then I basically just immediately deleted the game because once I started playing it, I couldn't even get out of the intro. But I ended up playing it on Xbox. I had played it on PlayStation the first go around, and I did download it on PlayStation this time around, but with the PSN outage, I didn't even try to play it. I downloaded it, but I didn't even try to play it. I just basically went back to Dragon Age because I thought, even if it works, I'll probably end up buying it on Xbox anyway, because that way we've got 2 Xboxes in the house. So if I buy it on Xbox, then both my son and I can play it. Game is
Monster Hunter.
Game is excellent. It is excellent.
I gotta call out Terrence though. He was like, "You should give it a try because the controls are not as complicated as the last game."
Oh, is they complicated? Oh, okay. Well, okay. Listen.
To get on your bird, fucker, you got to push up on the D-pad.
Yep.
Like
I press down, but it whistles and comes to me while I'm running. Like I just do that. But no, so I think what the part I was talking about is, you know how you would have that, you hold the button and it brings up that massive wheel where you have all the different stuff equipped. Now they have like a system where it's like separated between like ammo, communication and stuff like that. I don't know. It just seemed like it was easier for me. I don't know, man. I just was trying to get more niggas to play the game. You broke mine as the thank you. Ain't that a bitch?
Welcome. You're welcome.
Seems relatively streamlined to me. I don't know. The combos and stuff are still, of course, difficult because there's a lot of moves that you can do, especially with the longsword. But the overall, I think the UI seems relatively simple.
And it's smaller. Like they slimmed it down. Like I felt like in Rise, it took up so much of the screen, and now everything is more. Oh well, I played with those settings, like, and I was still so new. I kind of left a lot of that stuff up. But yeah, everything that just feels more streamlined is a good word. It feels streamlined.
Yeah, I agree. So I played with I generally play these games with the longsword. I've been playing with the longsword since, probably Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. So that's what I started with, and I really liked it. But then I started messing around with the bow. And the bow is really, really good. So I'll probably use that as a primary when I'm playing with other people, and use the longsword as a primary when I'm solo. The longsword is nice, of course, because you can cut parts off of monsters and stuff like that. But the bow feels pretty good and pretty powerful. So that may be a viable option when you're playing with a group. Performance-wise, I played on quality mode. I didn't have any issues. I
'Cause you're
will
a
say,
monster.
I will say that I did have some lag. So not FPS stuff, but actual lag. When I was one hunt, when I was playing with other people, I had the monster teleporting around a little bit, and some of the players teleporting around a little bit, but that was for a very brief period of time in one hunt, and I didn't have that problem again. So, yeah, it's really, really good. I can't wait to play more of it, but I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna try to play any more of the demo. I'm gonna wait and or not demo, the beta. I'm just gonna wait and play the full version when it comes out. So
You're not gonna
um,
like uninstall, reinstall, reset your Xbox, turn it on, turn it off,
Oh, he got jokes.
change your
He got jokes.
TCP/IP settings.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
no, Ken, because I don't listen to you.
It's for the best. Let me tell you.
Oh,
And
shit.
then I'm trying to think if I played anything else. I mean, I played obviously the usual suspects, Balatro and Stardew Valley and stuff like that, but nothing else interesting.
All right, well, I can end this real quick. I played Marvel vs. Capcom Collection on Xbox.
Oh, is it good?
It's very good. Like
I need to get that. I forgot about that.
yeah, Shadow dropped, came out, so I played some of that. I think it's a little tighter than the PS5 version, which is crazy.
Wait, is this the one with Power Stone? Or is that
No,
the next
no,
one?
that's Capcom Fighting Collection 2. That's out in May.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one that came out on PS5 like 6 months ago.
Gotcha. That
Yeah.
has Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and all that. You can
Yeah,
play online.
and for some
Yeah.
weird reason, the Punisher. Like they just
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that was on the arcade game, which is
Yeah.
crazy. But okay.
The only other thing I tried out was they sent us a bunch of codes for that Mutant Football League. I don't know if you tried it. I know I sent you one. I still have 2 codes for that, by the way. If anybody wants to play it, you might not after I
did.
talk about it. But
Yeah, it's not great.
well, the
Not,
thing is, like when I booted it up, I was like, okay, this presentation looks good. Like
Mhm.
I like the jokes of the teams. Like this is funny.
Commentator was cool.
Yeah, the commentator sounds like Tim Kitzrow. I don't know if it's actually him, but it sounds like him.
They had a Midway Monsters team, which I
Mhm.
don't know. I watched this cartoon back in the day. I don't know if you did, but yeah, that was the team that the main the show was based on. There was the Midway. I was like, oh, shoot,
Yeah.
nice, good job. The other game didn't, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and then like I get in, I start playing the game, and like I'm on defense first. I'm like, okay, so it's okay. It plays like a football game, blah blah, whatever. So then I get on offense, and the same thing that happened in the first game happens in the second. The computer just cheats, and I know that in the game you're allowed to cheat, like that's part of the game. But like literally the first snap that I took, they murdered my quarterback,
Yep, yeah, you kill people.
and I'm just like. Like it's unfair, and I put it on like the easiest difficulty just so I could learn the controls,
Mhm.
and then they just murdered my entire team. Like the computer just cheats constantly.
Yep, and it's like blitz in the like after the snap, you can like fist fight people. You just run up
Yeah.
on somebody and just start fucking throwing hands.
Yeah, the computer is just way too good in this game, and it makes it
Yeah.
not fun. Like you can't have fun with the game,
Yep,
and that was the problem with the first one.
Every snap.
Yeah.
Every snap I lost a teammate, somebody died. I'm like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Like this is all cool and fun and stuff, but like when the computer cheats so bad that you can't even like do anything, I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
As for everything else, I spent a lot of time playing a bunch of stuff I will tell you about next week, including South of Midnight. I played that. I played Avowed, a lot of Avowed. I will tell you about that next week. Playing the Tomb Raider collection, which I'll tell you about next week.
Everything.
It is. It's a lot of stuff. Like,
Same bat channel.
yeah. So I literally spent most of my week playing Avowed. So I will tell you all about
Good
that
to hear.
next week.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to talk about all this stuff. I could do the little secret thing where I say one of them is amazing, one of them is terrible, and one of them is pretty good.
It's up to you to figure out which is which.
But I also played like 2 other games that I can't talk about either, so I may be talking about those. I don't break embargoes.
And, well, they all can't say that. That's for sure.
I did boot up Multiverses after that patch. It definitely feels better to play.
I did that this morning. I didn't actually play it. I just did it because I know they said you could redeem like all the free stuff that they were like the Aquaman and stuff like that. I didn't actually go into a match though, but that's cool.
I went into the training round and I was like, wow, this actually plays really well. Good thing you fixed it before it died.
Yeah.
And then I booted up Street Fighter 6 and I was like, Jesus Christ, this game is a microtransaction hell. Like, I didn't realize they were already on the second season pass, so I thought I still had access to the new characters. I didn't even realize there'd been 3 characters released since last time I booted that game up. And I went in and looked at like the costumes and stuff that you can buy, and it's like they're like $10 a piece or some shit. I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Jeez. Yeah, I never went back to even get Akuma. I just, man.
Yeah, they put 3 characters in that game since Akuma.
See, that was the last one I knew about. I didn't even know they released anybody else.
Yeah, Bison's in there, and I forget the second one, but then Mai from King of Fighters is in there.
Oh, okay.
Like, I guess that's a second season pass. I was like, well, let me go check out the price of the season. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Nope.
$30.
No, I think it's $50, isn't it?
Dang. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it probably is for them. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 4 characters, so... And I'm really excited for the 4th character, like Elena from Street Fighter 3. She was awesome. I bet she's going to be super fun to play in Street Fighter 6, but man, that game ain't good enough for me to spend another $50 on it.
Feel it.
I'm sorry. It's just not. Oh, man, what happened to fighting games? They make me sad. Anyway, let's talk about what's coming out this week. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. We've got Quilts and Cats of Calico. Sid Meier's Civilization 7, which I think it's out this week for like the stupid edition, right? And then like next week is the real release. Okay.
The real release.
Yeah, the one that most people will buy. Yes. Undying, Pyramids and Aliens Escape Room. Okay. Metal Suits Counterattack, which I might also be playing. Recall Empty Wishes, Slime Heroes, Snezinka? I think that's how you pronounce that.
What the heck is that?
I have no fucking clue. After Love EP, Blood Hunting, Dead Dragons, Deep in the Forest, Doggy Up, Tomb Raider 4 through 6 remastered, and Witch of the Meta Loop. Avowed's out this week too for the stupid edition, isn't it?
Yes.
I think
the premium edition. Yep.
Yeah, you got to pay to, even if you have Game Pass, you have to pay to play that one early.
Yep. It's like $30 or something. Well, I think you get a discount.
Yeah, I think it's like $22.99 or something.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
I can't remember. PlayStation 5's the same games, except we've also got Shujinku and Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip.
Oh,
Tiny Terry.
And then Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2, which our review of that went live on Thursday or Friday? I can't remember. Jay reviewed that. He liked it.
I'm glad.
Xbox One, PS4, we're probably out of that, aren't we? Bumblebee Search for Happiness, whatever that is. Dead Dragons. Story. No, that's next week. Sorry. Let's go to Switch. Switch gotta be ramping down, right? Switch. First game on the list. Drop That Cat.
there it is.
Drop that cat.
Drop That Cat.
That cat. Been waiting for that one.
Space Cleanup Cosmic Robot Disinfector.
Oh, wow. All right.
Some good shit. What else do we got? I'm only reading the funny ones. Make It. Donut. Vampire Waifu Puzzles.
Jesus.
Girlfriend from Hell. Oh, what are we doing? Soko Crab. There's a good one. Soko Crab. I don't know. I'm going over here to do some news. All right. ID at Xbox showcase on February 24th. It includes games from Raw Fury, Team 17, Akpar, 11-bit, and the next collab for Balatro. Also, that intro had Miles Morales in it, and what's going on there?
Yeah, I feel like that was a mistake. I don't know, because that was from the Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah, that was
too.
the movies. Yeah,
But why? They haven't removed it.
Nope. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Jump Ship is supposed to be there as well, Ryan. Which
Nice.
is exciting. Yeah, I saw that on there in their Discord. So yeah, looking forward to see what they got cooking.
John Gonzalez has rejoined Obsidian after he was a narrative director for the Horizon games at Guerrilla Games. Nate the Hate has another rumor. Final Fantasy 16 is coming to Xbox this spring, followed by Final Fantasy 7 Remake this year and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth in 2026. Which would not shock me. I also heard part of that rumor is that the Switch 2 is getting Remake and Rebirth, but they're not focusing 16 for the Switch 2. Which is interesting. New Game Pass games, Far Cry New Dawn, which also got a 60 frames per second update. Madden NFL 25, which is always the timing. They put it out right before the Super Bowl. Kingdom 2 Crowns, Avowed, and for standard users, you finally get Starfield, Another Crab's Treasure, and Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Which that was a game everybody was like super stoked for and then like fell off the planet. Like the spiritual successor to Suikoden.
Yep.
After the unofficial Bloodborne 60 frames per second patch was removed, the Bloodborne PSX demake also got hit with a DMC takedown from PlayStation. And also PlayStation laid off a bunch of people this week, which, funny story, I read that the people they laid off were actually programmers of the networking system, which PlayStation Network was down for 24 hours.
Can I just say, where's all the conversation that Nintendo always gets? Nintendo hates the fans for Sony.
It's Sony.
Well, you know what the conversation around this was?
The
conversation around this was, they're doing it because they're going to do it officially.
Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Bloodborne PC coming out 2017, 2018, 2019. Oh yeah, I've been through this fucking bullshit before. Like, it's fucking irritating. No, they're protecting their IP. Unfortunately, the people that do this type of stuff understand it, but the fucking fans never seem to.
No, you saw the defense force out for the PlayStation Network being down. Like, these guys are weird.
No, man. I did not, thankfully.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And to be fair, my irritation comes from the fact that, everybody's always attacking Nintendo for this stuff. Bloodborne is, a mature content video game. There's no IP. You're protecting the IP for ownership only. You're not protecting IP because Mario might do something that is inappropriate for the audience of which Mario is, made for.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why Nintendo protects its IP, and it's family friendly for the most part. And so I get it there. And Nintendo allowed that fucking Metroid 2 remake to come out. To be clear. They knew about that. There's no goddamn way they didn't.
It's also,
so, I don't know.
This goes. It's kind of funny how this is the exact same thing with you remember the last time Xbox Live went down back in October? There were 30 articles about digital games and Xbox Live not being. Why are you paying for this? There was none this weekend.
Nope.
No conversation around a 24-hour outage of PSN. PlayStation is a weird thing in the media. It gets a lot of credit for no reason other than that they are I don't even want to call them the leader because they're second place. So I guess if you're a leader, that's cool. If you still do console wars, which are dumb by the way, you're second. Nintendo's whooping your ass. Just whatever, I guess.
It's just frustrating to me that all these people have no backbone.
It's weird too.
I'm an asshole, and I am I mean, I'm not immune to hypocrisy and stuff like that, but I
Sure.
feel like I'm pretty consistent on my bullshit. I didn't like Pal World. I didn't like the people that ripped off Cuphead. Like, and that is a personal gripe I have. Strictly with like creativity. But like at the same time, like, yeah, sometimes like if you acknowledge what you're doing, it's okay. Like that's the bit of hypocrisy there. It's okay when Nintendo does it. It's not okay when Sony does it, type thing. That's weird to me. And I just wanted to make sure I called that out while I had the chance. Like, Bloodborne PSX was never happening. And hopefully Bloodborne, the PlayStation 1 remake, does what Bloodborne Kart did and rebrand itself and change a couple things. Because Bloodborne Kart became Nightmare Kart.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully maybe work with that dev. If it's not the same dev, I don't know who's making the remake, but like that would be a way around that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just shitty because it's like, yeah, this is a mature rated game. Like, there's nobody to protect from potential like fucking with the IP. I don't know. Just anybody not familiar with that should maybe go look up like why YouTube has like a better handle on the kids app now. Like, go look up the Spider-Man Elsa stuff. Don't do that. Don't fucking open up a private searching window or whatever, and then do it.
I'll just not do
why,
it.
Yeah, but that's why Nintendo is so heavy-handed with its IP protection. Like, again, this is fucking Bloodborne, an IP they've done nothing with.
Yeah. Speaking of funny conversations, the Nintendo Switch has now sold 150.86 million units, which means that PlayStation's going to secretly find another 10 million PS2 somewhere.
Yep.
I think the Switch will actually end up being the best-selling console of all time, and it's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. Like, man, I don't know. I've seen a lot of conversation this week about consoles and like how Xbox didn't sell a ton in 2024, and like, I just think console sales just don't matter that much anymore. There's just too many places to play games. It's weird to me. I don't know. Wario Land 4 is coming to NSO expansion pack on February 14th. Super Mario World OST is now available on Nintendo Music. Nintendo confirmed the time for the Switch 2 Direct is at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And they also reconfirmed that the Switch 2 will launch in 2025.
Good.
Yeah, it's all good news. I can't wait for the Switch 2. I'm excited. Nintendo also put out numbers for their franchises. Mario Party Jamboree has sold 6.17 million. Mario and Luigi Brothership only sold 1.84. Echoes of Wisdom did 3.91. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, 67.35 million copies.
Jesus.
Yeah. Super Mario Brothers Wonder only sold 15.5 million. I say only, but still, like, it's a fucking Mario game. Just crazy. Pokemon Scarlet Violet hit 26 million. Animal Crossing is now at 47 million. And Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door remake, is at 2.06 million. Dragon Quest III HD 2D has exceeded Square Enix expectations. Wombat, didn't you comment that you didn't think that was possible?
Say what?
Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. Yeah, that I didn't think it was possible that to exceed Square Enix's expectations. Yes.
Well, it happened.
Not that I didn't think it was possible for Dragon Quest to sell that many copies, just that I thought Square Enix built their expectations to not be able to be exceeded. Based on, past
Sky's
experience.
the limit. Right.
Nothing has ever met their expectations, I don't believe.
Yeah,
this would be the first.
That was my point.
The ESA has announced the new E3. And it's called, what was it called? Icon or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
The ESA has also contacted the Trump administration to consult with game industry over tariffs on gaming devices and related products.
Well, that's
Okay.
fun. Right.
Going back to the new E3, like, it got all the big boys, which is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
it got PlayStation, Nintendo, Microsoft, was it Ubisoft, EA? Like, they're all going to be there. So, what else we got here? Eurogamer was told by EA that Criterion is now entirely focused on the next Battlefield game, but it's planned that they will eventually return to Need for Speed. Steam adds a warning on early access games which have not received an update for several months. That's pretty cool.
Yep, it's a good idea.
According to Bloomberg, the Wonder Woman game is years away if it ever makes it to market, and was rebooted and switched directors in early 2024.
This is why we shouldn't announce games super early.
This is why we shouldn't be making games that take hundreds of millions of dollars in 10 years to make.
Well, I mean, that too. Yeah, I mean, I guess both of those things got to go hand in hand because that's probably the reason. But you're right. This is bananas.
Like, that game is not going to sell what it costs to make.
No. And I mean, they were probably banking somewhat on the Wonder Woman movies because, the third movie was supposed to be out, I think, to, drum up some success or garner some interest in Wonder Woman. And that ain't happening now.
They were also probably hoping that their last DC game wasn't a giant pile of shit. So
and then there's that. Yeah.
Speaking of, according to the same article, Rocksteady is looking to go back to a single-player Batman game, which could also be years and years away.
5 years, I read, at least.
That 5 years is, I think, an optimistic outlook for that one.
That would be optimistic, I think.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a PS6 era game. Oh, Christ. All right. What's the next set of news? What we got here? Just Cause movie still moving forward. I don't know why.
With who? I didn't even know they were doing Just Cause.
Aaron Rabin as a writer. That's all this news story says.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Sonic 3 has surpassed Detective Pikachu as the all-time second highest grossing video game movie.
Dang.
It'll never pass Mario. No way. That thing made like $1 billion or something, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's Mario.
Yeah.
I don't think it will.
I still need to see Sonic 3. I love the first two, so I need to see
I do too. I haven't watched it yet.
According to IGN, the Sleeping Dogs movie is already in the works at Story Kitchen with Simulu. We talked about this last week. I don't know why this is on here again.
Story Kitchen. Come see what we cooking. Tell y'all, holla at me. We'll get that recorded.
Legendary and Bandai Namco have signed an agreement to co-finance a live-action Gundam film.
Excited for this. Oh, excited.
Sumo Digital has announced they're canceling their own IPs and refocusing on development services for partners. Studios and staff are affected. They're trying to retain talent and, quote, supporting those affected with transparency, care, and compassion. That sucks. Also sucks that Iron Galaxy had to lay off 66 developers.
Dang.
Yeah. Bandai Namco staff reduced by 100 people. And 2K Games fired 31st Union President Michael Condrey after the disappointing reveal of 31st Union's game Project Ethos last year. I don't even remember that game. Which probably speaks highly of that game.
Right.
Probably Monsters got hit with another layoffs. Netflix has canceled 6 games for its service right after they increased the price of Netflix, which is crazy.
Imagine that.
My Netflix is canceled, by the way. Fuck that $30 a month shit. Hi-Rez, the Smite developers, are laying off 30 people. They're also no longer supporting Paladins and Smite. They're now focused entirely on Smite 2. Why?
They won't be long for this world.
Why did you make a second game and split your player base? That is dumb.
Mm-hmm. I played, like, I checked it out once it came out of early access because I wasn't going to pay, because I liked the first Smite, and I mean it's just a MOBA. But yeah, Smite 2 is just the first Smite. They just changed a bunch of stuff for the worse, and the majority of their player base went back to Smite 1, and now they're forcing them to play Smite 2. They ain't gonna be long for this world. They
like
ain't gonna last long.
Overwatch fucked up a lot of stuff when it made Overwatch 2, but like at least they didn't keep both of them running.
Right.
Like, you can't split a player base like that. You just can't do it. You're not Call of Duty. You can't put out a new game every year and expect people to migrate. Like, it's just, ugh. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 sold 1 million copies in 24 hours, and also I think it's already surpassed 200,000 concurrents on Steam.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Red Dead Redemption hit a new concurrent players record on Steam with 100,000 people playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
I wish they would get a 60 frames per second patch on Xbox.
You can do. No, it's not 2. It's 1. 1 has a 60 frame version of the first game on PS5.
Yeah, but they never did that to the second one. I hope they do, because man,
if they're ever going to do it,
you can just say the fun one. By the way, everyone will know which one you're talking about.
Oh, shut up!
Wow.
All right.
Fucking horse testicle simulator over there. A fucking terrible game.
It is not a terrible game.
Great story.
One of the best games of all time.
But Jesus Christ.
The second one? Or was the second one?
The second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
I love this. I love the second one. Oh, it was fantastic.
It's really good. And I spent a lot of time in the online. And they had such plans for that, but then they put all their money in GTA Online and was like, fuck the Wild West. So
yeah, people would prefer to be in GTA than
you can't buy shark cards for the Wild West.
You might have been able to buy like shark gold bars.
Yeah, they were selling gold bars is what they were selling.
Yeah,
instead of shark cards.
But they can't. I think the problem partially, and I know this sounds absurd, is that they couldn't keep selling the same game over and over with Red Dead 2?
They tried. They released a single player only, multiplayer only.
Did they?
Yeah, like there's 3 versions of it on the store.
Wow. Okay. As I say,
you
like that's how many copies they've sold of GTA 5 keeps increasing. It's like, yeah, you could buy a shark card, or the shark card is on sale with the game.
Yep. And that's the cheaper one, so you don't own the game 17 times.
7,000 times.
Yeah, they're making the money either way. They don't care.
Yeah, but one increases the numbers, so it sounds cooler.
Of course, that's business.
Well, it's wild, and now these niggas want to turn around and make GTA 6 $100 after selling us GTA 5 for the last 25 years. Like, God dang it. Are y'all serious?
You know what the worst part is? They could get away with it.
They absolutely could.
That game will sell like crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guarantee you almost everybody on the show
not only will
will
it sell like crazy, it'll sell like crazy for the next 10 years.
Yep.
You're right. Oh, I would. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a bitch, but I'll begrudgingly hand them my $100 bill. God dang it.
Capcom,
I, of course, will be buying it. So
yeah, like I'd buy it. It's shit. Like that's the problem, and they know that.
I've loved all of those games since the very first one.
Same.
Capcom had their event this week. Marvel Capcom Collection dropped on Xbox, which we talked about. Monster Hunter Wilds Open Beta, which we talked about. Onimusha set to release later this year. They showed a little more of that. They gave a release date for Capcom Collection 2, which is May 16th. And this time it is launching on everything on the same day. So Xbox players, you don't have to wait, which is cool. Age of Empires and Age of Mythology were both announced for PlayStation 5. So it's another week of Xbox's Man, them dudes out there doing them podcasts, them PlayStation podcasts, like 6 to 10 hours of podcast this week just because of shit like this. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand, because it's not even really affecting you. It's a business, and they're choosing to let other people buy it. And honestly, for games like Age of Empires and Age of Mythology, that's fantastic. you need more players because multiplayer is where, that game really lives. I mean, the single player is only for so long. Like, I fucking maidenless behavior. Like, I just don't understand. Like, why 10-hour space about how, this company is putting their product over here?
Yeah, I don't.
True, bro.
I don't. I don't understand it. I never will. Like,
Mm-mm.
I mean, in the long, like, I don't understand how people are so anti-consumer benefits. Like,
Right.
Like the whole Game Pass argument. Like, I prefer to buy my games. So you prefer to spend $70 on one game? Like, well, that's renting a game. I was like, bitch, you only play it once.
Right.
Like,
and somehow that makes you cool if
This
you're
is
willing
not
to
surprising.
spend money.
Listen, I like my physical games.
that's fine.
But there are some games that I absolutely want to own, and then there are some games that it's like, yeah, I don't need to. It's okay if I don't own this because I'm only going to play it once.
Yeah, but at the same time, would you rather play that game and realize you want to own it, or have to pay $70 and then realize you didn't want to own it?
Just
I
give
would much
these
rather play
losers.
it.
Just give these losers the best bootlicking award that they deserve, and let's move on.
Like, I just don't. Like, it's like the guy that argued with me for 2 hours about how I should
I'm
not.
the best consumer.
Yeah, like that I should
wow.
not like take advantage of the $10 cheaper Horizon game to get the free
Oh,
upgrade.
fuck you! Such
I
a.
remember that.
Like-
I will be happily spending that $10.
Fuck you, dude. If I
Honestly-
could get buy one get one
honestly,
free Big Macs, I'm
no,
going to do
no.
that.
No, if you really, because he cared about developers. Honestly, you'd be better off taking that extra $10, putting it in an envelope, and sending it to the studio to buy a couple people some coffee. That would have actually gone to the developers then. The fuck out of here.
I mean, you're right. Freaking people.
2K Games claims the GTA 6 is still slated for fall of 2025. I don't believe it. Sorry.
I don't
No.
believe it.
I think it will.
I think it gets delayed to February. That's my uninformed guess right now, is that we get to, like, I don't know, July or August, and they're like, we just need a couple more months to polish the game.
This is GTA you're talking about?
Yeah, GTA 6.
Yeah. I mean, they did delay the last two.
I was going to say, I think actually they have a pattern of doing this. Now that
Yeah.
I think about it, with these games.
They delayed Red Dead, and then they delayed GTA 5 as well. So it would not surprise me. Take-Two's stock got a nice little bump when they said that they
That's what
we're still going to come out this year. But yeah, I don't know. I hope it comes out this year, but I'm not gonna be surprised either way. I don't get surprised by game delays anymore.
Nope. It is pretty much a standard. Like, I don't believe Fable is out this year, even though they said it was. Like,
I didn't know it was supposed to be out this year. Okay.
they claim 2025, but I don't believe it.
Nah, they haven't even showed anything but 2 trailers. Like, we haven't even got the little visit at the studio. Like, nah, that ain't gonna be out.
We'll see Fable in next year's developer direct.
Yep, then I'll believe it's about to come out. But yet, no.
Now, this was interesting. Death Stranding 2 got rated in South Korea, and I've also heard that there is a PlayStation State of Play this week. I bet you that is in there. And I bet you there's a release date on it.
Got you. I don't know why, but I thought you said rated, and I was like, what the fuck? How did they rate the studio? But you said rated. I got you.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If Death Stranding 2 gets announced, man, that's going to be up there for my game of the year, I think. If it's even half as good as the first one.
Still haven't played the first one.
You think it comes everywhere? You should play the first one.
No, it'll come to
Yeah, at some
PlayStation
point.
first, and then a year later it'll come to Xbox, I bet you.
Okay. Well,
I still don't
still need
think-
to finish the first one.
Yeah, I still don't think Sony is ready for that. What Microsoft did when they showed, like, the Ninja Gaiden trailer where they're putting PlayStation in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're there yet. What else we got? I will be very interested to know if that State of Play has any Xbox games in it. I'm very curious. I know what game will be in it, though. I bet you Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater's going to be in there because the release date got leaked. It's out on August 28th, and it's going to have the Ape Escape mode in it.
3 days before my birthday. Maybe I'll actually be able to play Metal Gear Solid 3 this time.
Dude, I'm going to laugh my ass off if you go to play that game and your save gets fucked up. I'm sorry.
Don't put that evil on me.
Right, man.
Oh, hey, Nightmare Kart. Speaking of DLC, the old carts announced adding a new mini campaign, new racers and carts, new tracks, new power-ups, and new game modes. Resident Evil Reverse is finally being shut down on June 29th. It should have never been released. Just saying.
I don't
know which one's that one.
That's the one that
The
came with
multiplayer one?
Resident Evil 3 remake, I think, or was it 2?
No, it came with 8. That Resistance came with Resident Evil 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
They all
And
should
that was-
die because nobody's playing them.
Yeah.
I think that's it. We already talked about the PSN outage, which was about 24 hours, which, by the way, if you have PSN, you were able to get a free donut yesterday. Like, I want to know how you prove that.
Krispy Kreme.
Yeah. I want to know how you prove. You're also getting 5 days added to your PlayStation Plus. So. Yay.
I immediately, as you were talking about that, thought of the Mitch Hedberg skit about not needing a receipt for his donut.
Oh, well, yeah.
I've never needed to prove that I purchased a donut.
It's fair. It's fair.
It's a very simple transaction. Let's not bring ink and paper into this.
That is fair. I mean,
All right, that's all the news that I got. I do have one email. Let's go through that. It comes from Dan. It says, an alternate view. He says, hey Ken and all. Since the launch of Overwatch, you have spent roughly 5% of your time playing it. In terms of your lifetime, including sleeping, working, and eating, 1% has been spent in-game. That's a huge commitment to making yourself miserable. So congrats on that.
Just like that meme I always post in the Discord. Every day I thank God for not making me an Overwatch fan.
that's so funny.
See, here's the thing, though. Like, the first 4 years were not misery, though. Like, that game won Game of the Year for a fucking reason.
That's what heroin addicts say, Ken.
Yeah, yeah.
In the beginning, it was
And I want you to know, Ryan, I can quit anytime.
Yeah, you've proven that over the last couple of years.
He said, speaking of miserable, for some ungodly reason, I decided to spend some time playing some of the old 8-bit games of my childhood. My main takeaway is that developers during that time hated children.
No, what they really hated was rental stores.
Yes.
That's what they hated.
Some of those old 8-bit
Every
games were
time-
terrible.
Every time you rented a game when you were a kid, some developer fell to his knees and shook his fists at the heavens.
Looked like Captain Kirk in Star Trek 2.
Right.
All right. I do have some tweets, too, I believe. Pull those up. First one comes on Blue Sky, and it's not Anthony saying thoughts on Dragon Age Veilguard. Broccoli says, "Go Team Meteor." I get he was referring because I tweeted out that the big game was today, so I guess he's rooting for Team Meteor.
Oh, yeah, he's rooting for Team Meteor.
Okay. Is that a Pokemon thing? I'm not a Pokemon guy.
No, it means a meteor destroys the stadium.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Instead of either team winning.
Sounds like a Pokemon group, though, doesn't it? Team Meteor?
So it's like, is everybody hate watching this Super Bowl this year? Is that
It's
what's
the
happening?
Chiefs, man. That's what.
Well, and it's also the fact that we just had Eagles Chiefs a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
this is a
Okay.
repeat from like 3 years ago, so.
Okay, gotcha.
And if the Chiefs win, I got to hear about it, and it's just, I'm so
Is
tired.
Are they the favorites?
Oh,
I know they have.
They're
cheated
actually
refs.
not favored according to the betting books, which I think is the dumbest shit ever.
They're the referees'
Mhm.
favorites.
Yeah, they're the referees' favorites for sure.
Gotcha. All right.
So, It's kind of funny that all that conversation sparked like everybody to have to make a statement about it. It's like, that old saying, where there's smoke.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you guys see? So speaking of which, this isn't game news, but did you see that the MLB had an umpire involved in a betting scandal?
No.
I did not.
He was apparently sharing a online gambling account with a friend, and well, this is what he claims, that he was sharing an online gambling account with a friend, and the friend was betting on baseball games through the account. Now, why an MLB umpire was sharing an online betting account with a professional poker player or whatever the guy was, I know he was a professional gambler, is another question altogether. But it was so telling as to the state of modern sports that the headline popped up about this umpire getting fired because of this betting scandal, and it linked me to ESPN. And so when I clicked on the link to go to ESPN to read the news article, the first thing I got was an ad for ESPN Bet. Because that's what sports are now, that sports betting's legalized just about everywhere.
Yep.
I can tell.
To the point that you've got fucking LeBron, who is an active basketball player, doing I don't remember if it's FanDuel or DraftKings. I think it's DraftKings.
It's the one with Kevin Hart.
With
yeah.
Kevin Hart.
Yep.
Talking about how much he loves gambling on DraftKings. It's like, Jesus.
It's Wayne Gretzky did the one for MGM.
Yeah, but he doesn't play anymore. It's
It doesn't
not like he's
matter.
actually playing hockey games.
It doesn't
anymore.
matter.
It does.
It doesn't matter to me. No, it does not matter. Or it does matter because you were a player, and like you
yes.
promoting that.
Yeah,
to
but
me is fucked up.
But it's different when you are a player.
It is worse, but it's
that's my
to me,
point.
It's the same problem. Okay.
My point is, like, you've got an active professional basketball player.
Also, I'm pretty sure Wayne Gretzky
talking about how easy it is to bet on DraftKings.
It's the whole thing's gross. Can you do it from your phones in the States?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
So
that's a thing.
It didn't used to be legal everywhere here. State by state, it was banned in some states and not banned in others. But it's recently been made legal in a lot more states, and the advertising, at least in Ohio, is just ungodly. The amount of advertising money they spend.
Yep.
It will be interesting to see because the last I checked, the Chiefs were 1.5 point underdog. So we'll see how that plays out today. I can tell you this. If I had to bet, I would bet they win. But you have no idea how happy the world will be if they lose.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't even like the Eagles at all.
No.
But I'm the biggest Eagles fan today.
All right.
I can't help it, man. I cannot stand the Chiefs. Like, the only person on that team that I have any respect for is the coach.
It is kind of funny that Andy Reid's the winningest coach for both of these teams that are playing in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. He's very good. He is very, very good. But his players are just the worst.
Yes, agreed.
Fucking Kermit the Frog ass. Anyway. We have some tweets from Shogun. He says, Eternal Strands has me in a chokehold. It's part Zelda / Monster Hunter on Game Pass, and I'm hooked. The crafting is so satisfying, and you can reforge and reuse resources. This is a gem to me.
That is awesome.
Very slow start, but once you get going, it's fun. Check it out on Game Pass. Man, I really did not like that game.
It's on my list to play here very soon. The timing of finishing Dragon Age is going to determine whether I end up playing Avowed first or that. But
I would suggest
I'm
if like
definitely going to play it before the end of the year.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna play it, play that first because Avowed is never leaving Game Pass. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So, and Eternal Strands eventually will.
I've got a code for it. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I can play it whenever.
That's right. I forgot you had that. I forgot it. Speaking of which, I have more codes in my inbox if anybody needs.
Okay. Well,
not for that game, but
I know.
yeah.
Let's talk after the show.
Okay. GameStop tweet about Sony's outage is reason number 895. While I will enjoy them going out of business.
I didn't see what they said.
So for context, they retweeted. I think it was Paul Tassi about the PlayStation outage and says, "I bet you wish you had a physical copy now."
Give me a
Right.
He says, "I hate it for the employees left, but but physical is over. I don't own a PlayStation, but I know Steam and Xbox both have offline modes where you can still play your games. Games won't fit on a disc now."
We've also
I still
talked about
love
this.
my physical games, but
we've talked about this before.
I would not buy them there.
We have talked about this before because I can't. I wish I could remember what it was. Maybe it was the Xbox 360 store closing. I think
Maybe
they said something similar, like, "I bet you wish you had your physical games now." And I think we had the same topic, so I'm going to be repeating it. Sorry, everybody. GameStop, who would dispose of the packaging for games and the literal games if they didn't sell, who would offer you nothing for your used games, and if they were worth something, then increase the price. Like, fucking shitbags. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're absolutely the reason why that industry is dying. Like,
yeah.
People are like, well, I could get it from GameStop, but they're still charging $60 goddamn for like a used copy, and it's on sale 6 months later for half price or whatever on digital.
Well, yeah, the whole I always hated at GameStop the whole gutting new games.
I hated that too.
Like,
I never understood why we just didn't use the cardboard boxes. I'd never understood that.
Right.
I think we talked about this last time too. It's like GameStop up here, may have been EB Games still at the time. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They before the PS5 came out, and the Xbox Series X, they were like, "Yeah, we're getting rid of all of our 360 and PS3 stuff for $2 a piece." They were mostly just discs, but some of them were full cases. I bought a ton of games. It was dumb. It was dumb for them to do that, but whatever. Like, I took advantage of it. But it's just, they did the same thing with Game Boy games. Like, Game Boy Advance games were dirt cheap at one point. I did the same thing with PS2 games. I got a lot of rare games for like $15 or less. It's just, yeah, like, it's not a great game by any means, but Drakengard 3 is very expensive for PS3. It's one of the 6 games that has like a blue band on it, which means they're like the last games made for PlayStation 3. And I bought it for $10. And that game is at $100, I think, now. Like, it's just, they're terrible at business. And they don't give a shit about the video games. And I understand that, like, being in a business, you have to treat it like a business. But, like, go to a mom and pop or even a smaller chain of video game stores and see how they handle it and see what they prioritize. It's very different than what EB Games has done forever.
Oh yeah, they're a shit company. They've always been a shit company.
If you want to support a video game like place, Video Game Plus from Canada, they actually have a physical store, but you can buy from them online. That's where Terrence got his copy of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk from. They're great. They ship to the US.
What are they called again?
Video Game Plus, VGP.
Okay.
They Wario sometimes links to them. They generally have really good sales on games. And it's generally because they have to just move inventory. Instead of, what EB Games would do is go, we don't want to sell it for a loss, we'll just destroy it.
Shrink.
That makes sense.
That's the reason why. Well, there's literal videos of people going into their dumpsters.
Oh, bro,
dangerous.
I used to work at one.
Yeah, I know.
I went back to take out some trash. It's yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
Yep. I think
this is wild.
I think almost everybody on the podcast worked there at some point.
I didn't, but yeah, I knew.
Well, that's why I said almost everybody.
I was in charge of destroying and throwing away all the copies of Cocteau Chojin.
Oh,
Well, yeah, but that's different because that one deserved to be thrown away.
Right.
well, that's different because that's also different because reasons.
Let's
So-
just say
that had copyright or not copyright. What do you call it? Music
Quran,
yeah.
clearance issue.
Quran lyrics in the music, and
Yeah.
it's literally the same sample that was used in the original copies of Zelda.
I just want to say I still have a copy of that game. Huh, that's crazy.
It's not good.
No,
That
it's
game
not.
is-
It's not good. But
That game is dog balls. It is terrible.
Dog balls coming to you from Rockstar Games the next.
all right, he has a couple more, so let's get through this because it's going to be a conversation about physical digital. He says there shouldn't still be a debate about physical or digital. Everything is digital now. What benefit do you have from the physical games that you don't have with the digital ones? It's just
I like owning my games.
Let me finish, then we can talk. He says it's just a license. 50 years from now, we won't play these games. We'll play the inevitable remakes. He says people are mad about the Avowed Collector's Edition not having a disc. I thought that was standard in the PS4 era. I would prefer it if Collector's Editions came with more statues, maps, bags, art books, but metal casings get old and over time add to the clutter. I'm old man ranting now.
Yeah, so this is my issue is if you want to buy your games digitally, that is completely fine. I have no problem with it. I prefer to own my stuff physically. Why are the people that advocate for digital games so hostile towards physical media?
Well,
Like,
it
you
goes
don't have
both
to
ways.
buy it.
It goes
You
both
don't have
ways.
to buy- Well, it goes so to the extent it goes both ways. It goes both ways in the sense of I don't want digital media to completely eliminate my physical media.
No, maybe for you, but there is a lot of people out there who are like, why would you buy it digitally? You don't own it. Like they're hostile too.
Okay, why is anybody hostile towards each other about this topic? Is
Because
a better
they're
way to say it.
stupid.
I'm gonna tell you what, because I'm not hostile about it. My only thing with the digital versus physical is, and it always has been since the beginning of this, when Xbox said they was gonna go all digital, is I expected some sort of price decrease for me buying the digital one, because you're not paying the money to print the disc, print the box, and all that other shit.
Correct.
So why am I paying $60 to download the game, and Ryan is paying $60 and walking home with something?
It's
like
a great
that.
question.
That's my thing with it. Because
It's a great
Steam,
question.
and it's only in
And
the
you-
consoles that you see that. Because PC, sometimes you'll get the stuff cheaper,
Yeah.
than the physical one. But yeah,
There is no physical
that's
PC
$5.
game. What are you
Well,
talking
not anymore.
about?
Right, you're right.
But
Not anymore.
PC releases are generally like a $5 difference from their digital console counterpart.
Right, and why
not
is
more.
that?
Well,
Like, that's always been my
you,
argument
why?
with it.
yeah,
Well,
it's he's not wrong in saying "fuck you." That's why. It's also because
Yeah.
PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox are like, well, we're not taking the hit on the servers that we're putting
Yep,
out here
that's what it
to deliver these games to you.
Somebody
But
got to
that's-
take the hit.
Yeah. And some people argue like, well, it's the convenience. You don't have to drive to the store or wait for it to show up at your door. It's like, I don't give a fuck. They should still be cheaper. I agree, and I'm all digital. Like, they should be cheaper. Like movies are cheaper digitally than they are physically.
Right, and that's
Except
the
at
thing.
launch,
Why
which
is it
is
okay?
whatever.
No, they're
Exactly.
not. They're not cheaper at launch.
No, sorry, not launch. When you can buy it before it's out physically.
Like I see
pre-order?
motherfuckers out there putting pre-orders up for Blu-ray discs, and they're like $40. I'm like, get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
those are
Yeah.
usually a little bit higher end stuff. But you could rent Sonic for a certain amount of money, and then when Sonic goes digital buy, I guess it's less money.
When it goes
Yeah.
digital, initially, like rental is the same price as buying, which is
Right,
crazy
that's what
to
I
me.
meant,
It's like
sorry.
$25 to rent a movie when
Yeah.
it's still in theaters. I'm like, nah, I'll never do that. Fuck you, I'll wait till it's just available for sale. And then most of the time I'll wait for a deal, because fuck you there too.
I mean, yeah, right.
Unless it's a movie I have to see right now.
But Brian's right. There's this weird hostility towards people. Like, don't get me wrong, both sides are hostile, but one is, I feel like I should be able to have these games physically, and the other side is, fuck you, no, you shouldn't. And it's like, well, those aren't equivalent. Those aren't equivalent.
Well, there's different hostility.
And
There is.
Well, you can say, but hold on. But even the people that are like, this should have a physical release, is not denying digital. They can shit on it, but they're not denying that it shouldn't exist. No one's saying these games shouldn't exist digitally. Not a single person can. There's a very
there are single people. Trust me.
Okay, well, they can scream in the corner. I don't give a shit.
That's both of these people screaming should scream in the corner.
But there's a far more vocal. Why would you buy it physical? Group. Okay.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I think you just curate a different timeline. I see a lot of people.
Ken, because the people who want it physically also probably want it backed up digitally. Whatever fucking exists, as long as the game exists, that's they think that they have this library that they're going to be able to return to, and for most cases that's not true, except for like Nintendo first party Switch games. But my point is like there's a far more vocal portion out there. Are the people who want physical games more annoying? Yes, absolutely. They don't shut the fuck up. But they are also not saying that digital should not exist. There's just not that crowd, Ken. Not to the same extent of people that are going, I don't know why you'd buy it physically. It's not the fucking game on the disc anyways, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, on discs, thank you. But it depends also on the developer.
Yeah.
Like, it depends on who's publishing it. Like, some discs have more game on it. Yeah, my copy of No Man's Sky is a very weird thing because it's not the same fucking game anymore.
Yeah, I also own No Man's Sky physically.
Oh, what! I almost want to return back to whatever the piece of shit is on the disc. Just out of pure curiosity. Yeah. But it's these arguments exist a lot where there's this fallacy of, and I'm not going to go into politics, but where it's like, one side is, this should exist, and the other side is, no, it should not. Those are not equivalent things. They're just not. You can say, well, they have both good reasons for certain things or whatever. It may be, but like, if your stance is, this shouldn't exist for other people because I don't like it, you're in the wrong. Plain and simple.
Agreed.
I can get down with that. I got you.
I'm fine with that. I just think that you just don't see those people that I see, that every time something is
digital only, right?
Yeah, I see very hostile.
Right. Why is there not a physical version? It's not. This digital version should not exist, and it should only exist physical. That's why it's not.
It's a different argument, but the argument comes across as, why does this exist digitally? It's not like you're going to be able to play it in 10 years.
Okay.
Which is just a different form of the argument that it shouldn't exist.
No, it's not. No, those are not. It doesn't.
Well, we can agree to disagree because I see it, and that's what I feel like.
But I'm saying their argument is, if you can't play it, if it doesn't exist physically, you're not going to be able to play it in 10 years. That's what they're saying. They're wrong. We can both agree that they're wrong. But my point is that they are not saying it shouldn't exist digitally. They're upset that there isn't a physical version too. Because if there was a physical version, that argument doesn't happen. No one is standing there going, this physical game is the only way this should exist. In fact, most people were upset when Devolver did that weird game that was only going to exist physically. I don't know if they ever released it digitally. Like, that was my stance on the stupid Wonder Boy collection from Strictly Limited, where they release they release the neutered versions of their collections, which they did with Hurricane as well and stuff like that, and then they would only release the more expensive versions physically. That was bullshit, and I think you'd find a lot more people who agree that that is bullshit, who are physical game collectors, than people who are digital, who, like, you know what I'm saying? Those are not equivalent arguments, because one says this should also exist, and the other one says this should not exist at all. Why are you doing that? Those are not equivalent. They're not equal arguments. And if saying, oh, well, you're not going to be able to play in 10 years, that's shitty to say, sure. But if it existed physically, that probably wouldn't have been said. And that's the difference. The one is upset that one thing exists. The other one's upset that something doesn't, and those are not equivalent arguments. They might come off the same, and and let's be honest, the people saying them probably are both dickheads in this particular scenario, because it's fucking video games. Just play it wherever it is. That's kind of the stance of this podcast. But they're not equal arguments. And I'm not saying this to directly say that the person sending in I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about arguments between assholes on the internet and not the person sending in the email. I think that it should exist because, again, like, I'm sorry, until the internet problems are solved across North America, because there's still pockets of people who get really bad service, physical games can offload some of that download time, even if it's not the full game. Like, my copy of Red Dead Redemption installs mostly off the disc, and then it updates. Now, that might change and might all be like 100 gigabyte update at this point. I don't know, I haven't played it. But because it was talked about, like, that's the reason why I bought physical, was strictly because I could just install off of a disc mostly.
I just like having the physical copies. It has nothing to do with
to read the manual on the way home.
There's no manuals.
I know.
I just like I like the collection aspect of owning it physically, and I like I do like the notion that the game is mine. And it feels more real to me when I own it physically than it does when I just own it digitally. But I also buy games digitally, so it's not a one or the other thing for me. I just wish that most everything had physical releases, because I'm going to be real sad in a couple generations when they don't have disc drives anymore.
I think it's not going to be a couple generations. I think that's going to be the next one.
Either, unfortunately.
I thought they said. I thought there was a news article at some point recently where Sony said they were including a disc drive in the PS6.
They haven't said that.
Didn't say that.
They didn't say that.
I thought they did.
Even if they did, like, they're also closing down Blu-ray factories.
Not only that, but I mean, they're kind of telling their hand when they put out an $800 console that doesn't have one.
Have a disc drive. Yeah.
And not only that, like, I think it was funny when people were like, "Oh shit, you can't even like install the disc drive unless you're connected to the internet."
Wait,
all right. I guess it was not Sony themselves. It was a former PlayStation CEO who said PS6 won't be.
You know who that is, right? The biggest fanboy of them all. It's Sean Layden.
Sean Layden, probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. You have to have internet to install the disc drive?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh my fucking god! No.
Because it's got firmware updates and shit.
It has to connect to the console, so it has to make an online connection to assign to that console.
That's crazy, bro.
I thought everybody knew that. Like, I thought that was.
No.
Yeah.
I just figured it was plug and play kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Because everybody was joking about it online when PSN went down. They're like, "Whoa, my physical games." They're like, "Well, I bought a disc drive, but I can't install it."
No, my god, that's so stupid.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like that. Listen, if your argument is they're basically pushing out the market, what's the point? Like, unfortunately, I get that conversation. Because they're pushing that market.
Oh, they 100% are. There's, movies and music were first, games are next. It's gonna happen.
And it's media control.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, we are going to be able to tell you what is okay to play. I think part of it, and this is probably what Ryan probably agrees, even though nobody wants to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special. I know that's the example I've used in the past. No one should watch the Star Wars Holiday Special. It is bad. But it exists because people saved it. And
right.
George Lucas said that if he had time, he would go to everybody's house and break all the discs. That is part of the reason why a lot of people like physical media, is you literally have to pry it from like old dead hands.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many. Now, what's ironic about that is it ends up widespread because the physical version gets changed into a digital version. But the existence of a physical version that is later turned into a digital version is why we end up with, a lot of the shmemulation stuff that everybody has.
I mean, for the old stuff, yes, but for the new stuff, people just pull the code.
Sure, yeah,
Right, but
it requires like again, that's again modern disc-based games. I do comprehend the argument happening here. I don't buy as many disc-based games either.
And again, so again, I and Anthony are now in a position where we have to defend on this podcast the right of physical games to exist. That was my point when the question first came up, was that the conversation is always physical game people defend why you should still get physical games. Defend why you still buy your games on disc. Defend why you still want to have a disc drive, even if it has to connect to the internet and all that bullshit.
Well,
I want it because I want it. So quit making me defend it.
No, I think it's I don't think it's people trying to make you defend it. I think it's just the trend of where media is going that you have to defend it because
but how many times do we talk about shit that the corporations are doing that's anti-consumer, and they're doing it anyway,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
But it's still fair to point out the fact that while they're doing it, it's costing you rights, like it 100% is. I think my problem is I am completely flabbergasted that any consumer would be anti the existence of physical media, even if they don't choose to buy physical media themselves. If nothing else, just from a preservation standpoint. I don't care what the corporations are trying to do. I'm talking about people who play games, watch movies, consume media. I am flabbergasted that anyone would be anti the existence of physical media, if nothing else, because, like I said, it's one of the few ways that some of these things get preserved.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think anybody who's against it is a fucking idiot. Like that's not even the question.
That was my argument though, is like the equivalency of the argument of what is behind the argument of like people who want a physical copy of things and people who say you should just buy digital are not, even though they might look on the surface as just two sides of an argument, one side actually has reasons as to why this thing should exist, and the others are just like, you shouldn't even bother. And like, okay, because and I have to take it out of video games for a second. I buy my music, and I know he's not
as opposed to stealing it. What?
Well, look, you know what?
I know. I'm just giving him a hard time.
But I'm gonna, you know what though? Like, even theft of music has some sense of ownership in it. I know that's not a positive, and I know that's not what music labels want to hear. But suck my dick, I guess.
But at least it's on a hard drive somewhere. You mean where you
it's
can
on a hard drive somewhere.
Listen to it if you want to.
Because,
yeah, I mean, there are plenty of times when I go on my Spotify playlist and there are songs that aren't on there anymore.
I always use this example, and I use them specifically because I think it's something that people don't think about. Radiohead sold their catalog to XL Recordings, which is a label I don't dislike by any means, but I believe they were with either Parlophone or Polydor, somebody.
You could have made those words up. I'd have believed you.
100%.
They're both the actual labels. But the extra. So they had released most of their CDs as most of their albums as 2 CD releases that had B-sides, sometimes live versions, sometimes demos. You know, all the things that might be found on singles from those albums. You know, things that don't exist anymore, really. But for a Radiohead fan, that was a great release to have because it kept all of your music sort of together. Here's all of Kid A. Here's all of Pablo Honey. You know, and the most important stuff that you would probably want as a fan. But when XL bought it, those are not the releases you can buy anymore. And then the streaming rights change. And now can you have easy access to those albums? Not necessarily, or to those extra tracks. Not necessarily. And that happens all the time. And it's those people who have the singles still, those last printed versions. Like, music is one of the best examples to look at why physical media is important. Because things change. People go and remaster stuff. Remastering sounds like a great idea. And in video games, sometimes I think most of the time remasters are good. But then look at something like 13 that came out. That's bad. Now imagine you couldn't go back to the original 13. You had to only play the remake. That would be very detrimental to video games, especially if you were a fan of 13, that we rewrite history with worse versions. Kanye West sucks. I'm just saying that. But it's not random. Like, Kanye West sucks. He's a great example of why this is a fucking terrible idea. Since he's lost his mind and stopped working with people who would tell him no, he has put out albums in terrible fucking states, terrible mastering. I don't listen to his new shit, but I'm talking back about The Life of Pablo. He said one of the tweets that I remember is, "I'ma fix Wolves," because Wolves came out and it was terrible, and it was a different feature on it because he's a mess of a human being, and it showed in the release. But if you liked those original versions at all, those were wiped to whatever he put out afterwards. So, and because it wasn't physical at that point, unless someone downloaded it and saved it, and they did because there are Kanye West stans, they're gone. And that's happened before. It's a solo act called Sonoio. It's an electronic act. The former keyboardist, now bassist of Nine Inch Nails. It's a solo work. He had a song called Thanks for Calling, and there was a director's cut that was a different edit of the song. It was very weird to have that out there. I cannot find that director's cut anymore. It was a YouTube video. It's gone. I don't know why he took it down. I cannot find it anywhere. I've looked high and low. If I'd saved it, I might still have it, but I didn't. And that's the problem with it all being digital. So when people go, this should be physical, that's why I'm saying it's a different argument than this should all be just digital. What's the point of physical anymore? Because they can take it away. And you might say, well, you might not go back to it. Okay, but what if you did? What if it's your favorite thing? And you can't tell me that insert game isn't going to resonate with someone differently. We all have stupid... I fuck you with you, Ken, but I understand you liking Eternal Champions. I have shit games I like too. But I'm just using it as an example because what if Eternal Champions was wiped off the face of the planet because Sega was just we're done. There was a lawsuit, some character looked too much like somebody else's, and we had to get rid of it all. So it's
the guy shooting a laser in the air looks too much like Blade.
Right. Yeah, I was just about to say something about him.
So that's the reason why those arguments, I get it. As a consumer point, sure, they're equivalent arguments. But as a cultural point, there is one side that's backed up with real proof of, the shittiness of business destroying art that people worked on. Backing up with the reason why something should exist. And that's why they're not equivalent. And that's the reason why, when people are arguing over even political stuff, and I'm just taking the moment because I'm talking now, about, why rights are not equivalent between two people. Why is religious rights not the example of, existence rights? You have to think about, the background of the people who are arguing for their right to exist, and the difference between that and your right to be comfortable. That even though on a cultural fine, we zoom in, it may seem similar. It's not. They're not the same argument, and that's the reason why. It's all a cultural fight to maintain culture, and when it comes to physical media, Like they are very similar arguments on the macro scale, but like fucking zoom out and see the history of it all. They will fucking wipe this shit off the face of the earth for $1 to save. I mean, fuck Batgirl, fucking Warner Brothers. Just look at all the stuff they were just like, yeah, these movies are done, but we're never putting them out because it could save us $1. All it takes is one person to fucking leak it. That's the reason why we have Deadpool. Someone leaked a trailer. Now it's probably Ryan Reynolds, but still, like, they were gonna not do it. They were just like, yeah, we're good. It's those moments that we save culture that can change the way things go. Not that I think, a booby game is going to save culture, but
BMX Triple X is the...
Yeah, I don't think BMX Triple X is going to save us. My rant is over.
I don't know. I just think people are assholes.
Well, that too.
Well, yeah.
Just look. Ultimately, this comes down to if you think you might be defending a corporation's ability to be shitty, don't. Don't do that thing.
No, but that's what people do. They tie to corporations and they make really stupid arguments. And honestly, it's fucking video games, man. Like, I understand your point. I do. And if Eternal Champions got wiped off the planet, I'd be sad. But there's like 27,000 other games to play that I think I'd be okay.
But none of those are Eternal Champions.
Thank God. Thank God, though.
Well, yeah, no. You make a good point, Ken. Don't try to turn me on my own point.
I have two
Eternal Champions.
I have 2 hard drives of it backed up in a disc, so I'm good. I've got it forever.
You got 2 hard drives of it backed up on a what?
In a disc. I have a disc of it.
A what?
Yeah, I have a disc.
A what?
You act like I didn't buy discs. Motherfucker, I have more discs than y'all combined.
Got so much disc, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got so much disc.
I got the biggest disc.
What about the digital version?
I got the biggest disc.
More disc.
That's right. Fucker, I got fucking thousands of discs laying around.
About the length of the girth.
That's right. People come at me, motherfucker, I got more games than Jesus. He only got 1 game.
I mean, I would hope so. He probably only had dreidels.
Probably.
I mean, you don't know that. He might have been playing Eternal Champions.
Jewish. Oh God, Jesus, playing Eternal Champions. Everybody's like, it's witchcraft. It's like, no, it's a Sega CD.
It's a Sega CD game made by Deepwater. It's a classic. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, is it made by Deepwater, or was that the Deepwater label?
It's a Sega internal team. I can't remember what they were called.
I thought Deepwater was the before we had mature ratings, we were like, this is a Deepwater game. Because I think they only put it on like 3 games.
All water was shallow water to Jesus because he could walk on top of it.
This is true. These are facts.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that fact. But you can't argue with the fact that the show is over. It's done. It's in the books. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more of those,
save it to your hard drive so you can share with friends down the line. Maybe this might be the most important culture. You can just throw it in the trash. No one cares.
I literally have a backup of every episode in 2 places.
Just smash that like button, chat. All right, get that subscribe.
I was just about to say that. If you'd like to see more, you gotta hit that subscribe and ring that bell.
There you go. There you got to ring that bell.
The sad part is they could actually do that because you do upload to YouTube.
Yeah, that gets all of like 5 views. Like, except for like that one episode that had like 6,000. Like, I don't know what happened during that episode.
Man,
clearly I could not have been on.
It leaked that you took your shirt off in the middle of the episode.
It's fair. It's fair. It's
the no video podcast.
Yeah, the audio only version. They just wanted to hear my shirt come off. Is that what it was?
It was a descriptive video.
Yeah,
for the hearing or the visually impaired.
Yeah, I had a sign language person signing my.
There's a lot of grunting because it was a little uncomfortable to get the shirt off.
You hear the glistening of the sweat.
No, it sounds more like you're peeling a melted piece of taffy on the ground.
Oh, shit. Anyway, if you'd like to send us emails, you could do that to podcast@ztgd.com. You can tweet at us on that Twitter site, which, yes, I'm still will never call it by its other name, at ZTGD Podcast, as well as on Blue Sky. We have one there now, too. I think that's it. Anybody want to be wrong about a Super Bowl prediction? You want to pick one?
Actually, I can't tell you who wins, but I know Drake loses.
Facts.
You want to
Yep.
get anybody want to guess a score?
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm gonna
I'll leave that for people that care about football.
say all the Eagles games or all the Chiefs games I feel like come down to one score. So I'm gonna say 24-21.
Ooh, low scoring affair, huh, for these two.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm feeling 31-27.
17 baskets. Fuck if I know, guys. I don't watch football.
17 baskets.
Yeah, it was the old. Well, here's the thing. I was originally gonna say goals, but I'm like
They
that
actually
what you
kick
get
field
when you-
goals. So
goals.
They do,
Yeah, so I
yeah.
was like, well, that doesn't work.
yeah, they kick field goals. You could say goals.
Yeah,
It's better
so-
than baskets because there's no baskets.
Well, yeah, that's the
There
reason
is
why I
not,
went for
no.
baskets. I was going to say goals purposely, and then I'm like, wait.
oh,
field goals
you were
must
trying to
work.
be like the feet ball person. I got you. Sports ball.
Oh,
And
hold on. Sports ball is
What?
corny. I get it, but you just said feet ball.
Feet
That's a
balls are funny.
totally different thing, I'm sure, on the internet.
I'm
Don't
sure
Google
they-
that. Don't
Don't Google it.
Don't Google
Don't
that.
do
Don't
that.
Google that.
or Google it
I won't
and
Google
report
that.
back.
I'm not going
Ugh.
to look. No, that's too much. I'm not going to go down that hallway. No, thank you.
Anyway, that's it for us. Hope everybody enjoys your Super Bowl parties. Even though most people won't actually be watching the game.
They're going to watch the halftime show, though.
A minor.
I'm sure
Right.
they're
I will.
gonna be lots of conversation on the internet, and we'll see how the real betting should be doing like how many penalties get called for the Chiefs. That should be a betting line.
How many times does he perform not like us?
I almost guarantee,
Just
like,
keep doing it over and over and over again.
Well, that's
All-
what he did at the pop-up show.
I know.
He did it 6 times in a row.
all kidding aside, I guarantee you there's a bet out there for how many times they show Taylor Swift.
Oh, 100.
Oh, yeah.
guaranteed.
There's
Yeah.
a fucking bet based on the color of like Gatorade.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
So,
God.
guys,
It's-
wasn't it great? We can have gambling from our phones.
hell yeah.
Right. Like, my God.
Yeah, I'm
Hope
sure
you-
that'll mix well with financial ruin.
Yep.
Just wait until they figure out how they can start like not it being less skeezy to do like fucking pee-wee fucking sports. Oh god,
Anyway,
fucking gambling on your kid's fucking t-ball game.
that's the end of the show. We're gonna get out of here.
Kid's like, we're done. I'm
done.
cutting it off.
We're done. We're this pee-wee feet ball. We're done.
Oh no.
God, that's awful. Can we not end on that moment? Jesus.
There was a comma.
What?
No, there was not.
There was a comma when I said it.
That fucking comma took off. We didn't even want to be in the middle of that.
Put your shirt back on, Anthony. We out of here. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.